Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Donna Just Being Real. And happy Easter to everyone and blessing. Hallelujah, Christ has risen. Oh, yes, he did indeed. All right, so we're going to get into this trial. Basically, I'm going to be doing a recap clip. So I'm going to show a recap clip. I'm still learning about this trial, just like anybody else might be. But it is the first week, so we're not that far back. But this is insane. It really is insane. So I was watching a little bit more yesterday. Oh my gosh. I didn't even realize how bad this is. But what I'm really interested about is getting to hear what this psychologists and stuff. Like I said, I'm really into the psychological thing, human behaviors, how their minds think and stuff. So we get to learn more about her, claiming that she's mentally insane, all that kind of stuff. Right? And what I want you to do is, the people that's watching the replay and the people that's here, please hit the like button, share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, share the video on your social media. Feel free to check out some of my past commentary. All right, check out my stuff. And if you need to reach me, feel free to find my email in the description, and you can email me. You have a viewer's request, or you have you need a coaching, dating, love, relationships, anything like that. Feel free to contact me. All right, we have some people that's here. All right, let me go through these comments and I'm going to show clips. Now, what I'm going to focus on with the clips I'm going to show is I'm going to show a bit of the opening statements, when they open up, what the prosecution have to say and what the defense have to say. Then I'm going to also, this is going to be a long live stream, so y'all just hang in there, have your crunchy munch, get comfortable, stuff like that. And you could just listen if you're not able to, watch the screen. My channel's more of a podcasting anyway. So, and I'm going to also show, play the clips of the phone call that that the ex-husband, well, he's now ex-husband, but at that time that he had recorded the conversation with this evil woman. This woman really is Satan Jr. Satan's daughter. All right, you see her right here, Satan's daughter, Letecia Stauch Stepmom murder trial. Recap clips of the week. All right, now let me go through these comments real quick before I start. And like I said, hit the like. Melvia says, wow, we all said prison. This is the first time that we all agreed on something. All right, like I said, hit the like. I see BG came up in here. BG's in the house. Happy Easter to you too. Mod on deck. Yes, hallelujah. He has risen. Yes, Jesus Christ has risen. All right, and Melanie said something. All right, happy Easter to all, Donna. Can't wait for the recap on this one. I did a deep dive on it this week. Ooh, girl, this is crazy. I'll put the I'm gonna put the link in if anybody wants to come up here, hang on the panel, or they want to share their thoughts and opinion. Feel free. It'll be an open panel. You can come up here. You don't have to say nothing. Just come up here just to hang out, whatever. We can go from there. So, Melanie, if you want to come here, anybody else, feel free. Now, Melanie says, buckle up because it is going to get a lot crazier as it progresses. I think now I understand why they said 8 weeks too. Yup. Because when I was doing, watching some of the videos, I was saying, yeah, it does make sense now why they want to. And who popped through the back door? Nell GG, and blessings to you. Miss you too. And happy Easter to you, Diva. Good to have you here. All right, this case is so hard. Oh my gosh, it really is. What she did to this child. And you know what? Let me just say to anybody, I should have said this in the beginning. Sometimes this could be hard for people to hear about what happens to children, which I completely understand because I was getting really emotional listening to some stuff. If you need to leave, you don't want to be here, I completely understand. I will not take it personal. I understand because we're talking about children. A child, an innocent child. People have to, really be careful who you date and who you bring around. All right, the psych staff is what I'm interested into. Yes, that's why I gotta be in tune for that one. All right, so we're gonna start with this clip here. Now, I should have had this already set up, so give me a second here. I have it up, but I want to, skip some stuff. I just want to get straight to it. All right, let's see. Hold a second. Let me see today. I just want to get to when the prosecution starts the opening. I can fast forward this stuff. Alright, give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. Should have had this already done to be smooth.
Want it now? Go ahead. Okay.
And if you want to, then
Okay. All right. Now it's getting ready to start. Now you know how we do here. We do faster speed, okay? Now on this speed, I'm going to put it on 1.5, okay? So the speed is on 1.5. If anybody's watching replay here that needs to slow it down, you can slow it down on your end. All right? And who else popped up in here? Francine. Oh, hey girl, and blessings to you. Let's say Merry Christmas. What's wrong with me? Easter and all that. And good to see you. Good to see you. All right, let's get it. All right, now it's going to be on 1.5 speed. If you need to slow it down, yeah. If it's really too fast for everybody to understand, let me know. I will just, put it down to 1.25. Let's get it.
Go ahead.
no, I was asking if you turn.
You want it now? Go ahead. Okay.
And if you want to dim the lights, I'm fine.
I can't, actually, I thought this was for perimeter lights like it is in my courtroom, but it's not. Their panel is up there if you want to dim the perimeter lights. It's up to you. Okay. All right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Paramount question you will have to answer as jurors in this case has to do with sanity, specifically the defendant's sanity. At the conclusion of the evidence, the court will give you jury instructions. One specific jury instruction will talk specifically about insanity. It will read that as to the question of sanity, the defendant was insane at the time of the commission of the acts if she was so diseased or defective in mind at the time of the commission of the acts as to be incapable of distinguishing right from wrong with respect to that act, or she suffered from a condition of mind caused by a mental disease or defect that prevented her from forming a culpable mental state. That is an essential element of a crime charge. A culpable mental state is like an intentionally or knowingly. Evidence in this case will show that she could distinguish between right and wrong, and that she was absolutely capable of forming the specific intent required for these charges. Those instructions will go on to give specific guidance on what qualifies as a mental disease or defect. It says care should not be taken to confuse mental disease or defect with moral obliquity, mental depravity, passion growing out of anger, revenge, or hatred, or other motives and kindred evil conditions. Because when an act is induced by any of these causes, the ones that I just listed, the person is accountable to the law, meaning that person can be found guilty for committing crimes charged. You should consider the evidence you will hear in this case in context with that instruction. This case is about two people. First is Gannon Stauch, an 11-year-old little boy, came into this world premature, weighing just 1 pound 6 ounces. He proved to be a fighter and overcame the difficulties associated with being born so small. He's survived by his mother, Landon Hyatt, his father, Al Stauch, and his precocious little sister, Lena. On January 26, 2020, something bad happened inside the Stauch family home. Gannon suffered some burns. You'll learn this from a video recording this defendant made that night, January 26th. You'll hear her as she manipulated Gannon, putting guilt on him for some mistake that the child made. And in that recording, you'll hear Gannon say in his own words, "I'm just worried about my burns."
I just don't know what to do.
Well, devastating. Initially, Scott, I can't lie when the TMZ information.
Gannon, I promise this is the last time I'm going to ask you. I'm just freaked out, okay? Are you sure you didn't do it on purpose? Okay, we promise. You promise. Pinky promise. Okay, all right. So listen. All right, we're gonna have to sell stuff to fix it. Okay, so we figure out what we gotta sell. We can sell the sofa. We can sell whatever, because we gotta get it fixed. So, lady, don't be mad at us and kick us out of the house. Okay, you got it. You got it.
I'm just worried about my
Okay, listen. So tomorrow.
The other person in this case is that last voice you just heard, who said so tomorrow. Just like sitting right here, the defendant. January 26, 2020 into January 27, 2020, she was the sole provider for Gannon. Her husband, Al Stauch, Gannon's father, serves in the National Guard. He was in Oklahoma for National Guard training, left that Saturday night, the 25th. Everything that happened to Gannon from that point forward was her decision. She carried out actions to kill Gannon, to put his body in a suitcase and hide it, to hide evidence of what she did to Gannon. Tell numerous stories to investigators to manipulate the course of the investigation. And finally, to discard Gannon inside that suitcase off of a Florida bridge like garbage. January 27, 2020, Gannon's home, located at 6627 Mandan Drive, here in Colorado Springs, Colorado, turned into the stuff of nightmares. In fact, the one place a little boy like Gannon should have felt the safest, his bedroom, turned into, like I said, the stuff of nightmares. That bedroom is, in fact, where he was brutally murdered. The defendant attacked him viciously, mercilessly, deliberately, and intentionally These are exhibits that you'll see from the doctor down in Florida, Dr. Ignacio, when she performed the autopsy. He'll tell you that Gannon suffered 18 stab wounds to his body, his chest, his back, his head, and most importantly, his arms and his hands. Why is that important? Gannon was fighting for his life, and those were defensive wounds. Next came a crushing blow to his head that was so strong, it fractured his skull like an eggshell. That wasn't enough for this defendant. He retrieved a 9mm handgun, fired it at Gannon 3 times. 2 bullets struck the pillow near him and were caught in the fibers of that pillow. That 3rd bullet entered his jaw, traveled through his head, fracturing his mandible, his vertebrae, hitting his spinal cord, and lodged in the back of his head and was recovered at autopsy. Gannon's life drained from his body, drop by drop. The photo that's on the screen right now is a picture of his bedroom, the same corner where he was in that picture, or where you'll see him in the picture in the bed. Each one of those markers signifies a small blood drop that splattered across his wall. It ran down the corner of his mattress, soaked through the carpet padding, and puddled on the concrete foundation below that carpet. The defendant then took very deliberate action. She decided to hide her crimes from the world, and she took action to hide those crimes from the world. She collected Gannon's bloody and broken body and the blankets and pillow that were near him and shoved them into a suitcase and hid them in the storage unit in that basement. That basement storage unit is right around the corner from Gannon's bedroom. What she didn't know is that she was leaving clues behind in that storage room. That plastic tub that you see in the bottom left portion of that picture has Gannon's blood on. There was an Amazon box in that storage room that has Gannon's blood on it. The concrete floor in that storage room had Gannon's blood on it. The defendant next decided to clean Gannon's room. Deliberately, intentionally, knowing what she was doing. She scrubbed the walls, cleaned them off. She scrubbed the carpet with scrub brushes that were later found in the dishwasher. Those scrub brushes have carpet fibers in them. They have blood on them. They have Gannon's DNA on them. This is Gannon's bedroom when members of the El Paso County Sheriff's Office first came to the house on January 27th in the evening hours. This is what it looked like. No obvious signs of a struggle. No obvious signs of blood as they walked through the house and through Gannon's bedroom. There were no obvious signs of a struggle or murder because the defendant had cleaned them up. And also realized she had Gannon's blood on her person. Clothes that she was wearing, likely containing Gannon's blood, based off of how much blood had hit the walls, were never found. Her clothing was never found. These shoes, the defendant's shoes, were found on the washing machine, drying. That reddish rust color that you can see on the soles, Gannon's blood and DNA were found on those shoes. You can see just how much blood she was walking through as she was cleaning up that mess. Took more deliberate action. She collected and discarded other important clues. I mentioned she stabbed Gannon 18 times. The instrument that she used to stab Gannon has never been found. That 9mm handgun that she used to fire 3 rounds at Gannon, shell casing ejected out of that firearm each time she pulled the trigger. No shell casing was ever found in Gannon's room. She then took more deliberate action when she hid Gannon in a suitcase first in her car, and then up north near the El Paso County, Douglas County line. GPS location data was used to track her location for her movements, and it led to another grisly discovery up just in this area here. A board was found under a tree. That board had Gannon's blood on it. This is miles away from the Stauch family home, which is in the southeast part of the city, close to the airport. You'll learn through testimony that this board came from the Stauch family garage. Then took more deliberate and thoughtful action. She loaded the suitcase containing Gannon into the back of a rented van and drove to Florida. And that's the course of her travels from here to Florida. She rented a hotel room in Pensacola, Florida on February 4th, 2020. She drove a short distance from that hotel room, which is sort of by those blue angular marks on the map, up to where that red square is on the map. Drove a short distance from that hotel room, across a dark bridge that drives over a river that flows into the Gulf of Mexico. There she acted with determined purpose. Stopped that van. She hauled the suitcase out of the back of that van, drug it to the side of the road, hoisted it up over the railing, pushed it over the side, hoping that Gannon would never be found. 48 days later, 1,300 miles away from where Gannon was murdered, the search for answers and Gannon's remains finally ended on March 17, 2020, when the suitcase that came from that basement storage room, Gannon's remains, blankets, and the pillow were found by an unlucky bridge worker checking that bridge for safety. And imagine the shock that he felt when he realized what was inside that suitcase. Inside that suitcase, obviously Gannon's decomposing remains. Also, these 2 blankets and that pillow. Remember the pictures that I showed just a moment ago of Gannon in bed? These pictures were taken by this defendant on the morning of January 27, 2020. Sent them by text message to Gannon's father, Al, who was in Oklahoma for training. Take note of those blankets. Take note of the blankets that were recovered from that suitcase. The very same blankets and pillow that were in those pictures on January 27, 2020 were found 1,300 miles away with Gannon underneath that bridge. The defendant then purposely, intentionally came up with numerous different stories about what had happened. Gannon was missing, went to a friend's house and never returned. Gannon was kidnapped and she was raped by a guy named Eduardo. Gannon was kidnapped and she was raped, but this time by a guy named Quincy Brown. She went to look for a bike up near that Douglas County, El Paso County line. Gannon test rode that bike, crashed, and suffered a horrible head injury. And a guy named Quincy Brown takes Gannon, and now the defendant doesn't know where Gannon is. Cartels were somehow involved with Gannon's disappearance. And most cruelly, that Landon Hyatt, Gannon's mother, was involved with Gannon's disappearance. All of her actions were purposely designed by her to distance herself from what she did. Throw off investigators, buy her time, escape accountability for what she did to Gannon on January 27, 2020. At the conclusion of the evidence that we'll be presenting in this case, you'll be asked to determine whether the defendant is guilty or not guilty of the charges that we've leveled against her. You'll also be asked to determine whether she was sane or insane at the time that she killed Gannon. All of her decisions, all of her deliberate actions betray her claims of insanity. She knew that what she had done to Gannon was wrong. Why hide it? You'll hear her own voice through recorded phone calls and interviews. The evidence itself will prove her sanity. As jurors, part of your job will be to determine how much credibility, if any, you give to the witnesses. That same rule applies to expert witnesses. You'll get to hear from doctors. You'll get to hear from GPS expert witnesses. Lawyers get them that sometimes. And when they take the stand and take an oath, you get to judge whether what they are saying makes sense. Is it credible or not? And if it's not credible, you get to discard it. If it's credible, you can use it in your deliberations. But you all get to decide whether that credibility extends to that witness or not. The same will hold true for our expert witnesses and the defense expert witnesses. Get to hear from a doctor that will testify that the defendant was insane at the time of the murder of Gannon Stauch on January 27, 2020. With all expert witnesses, you should gauge what they're saying, measure it against the other evidence that you're hearing. Does it make sense or not? Like all expert witnesses, if it doesn't make sense, you can discard it. You'll also hear from others who knew her best. People that have the best opportunity to see how she was acting. Did she understand the difference between right and wrong? Could she form intent? People like Al Stauch, the man who was married to her. People like her brother, Dakota Lowry, who flew out here after Gannon went missing. And most importantly, her very own daughter, Harley Hunt. See, Harley Hunt was in the best position to know the defendant's state of mind, especially as it relates to when this crime occurred. She was the only other older person in the house. When Al left to Oklahoma, Harley Hunt was working. She's young, 17 years old at the time, thinking about going into the Air Force. But she becomes the defendant's closest confidant after the defendant killed Gannon Stauch. In fact, she also rode with the defendant on that van ride from Colorado Springs to Florida. She'll be able to tell you in her own words whether the defendant understood the difference between right and wrong, whether she could act intentionally or deliberately or not. And she'll tell you that she could on both counts. Remember, this case is about two people. Gannon had no choice what happened to him that day on January 27th. The other, this defendant, she held every single decision in her hands. She took deliberate, thoughtful action that ended a precious life and tore our family apart. Your job as jurors will be to listen intently to all of the evidence. Because even the most mundane evidence, it might seem inconsequential when you're listening, is being given to you purposely so that you can make the determinations you need to make as jurors. Did she understand the difference between right and wrong? Was she able to form a culpable mental state? Every single piece of evidence that comes from this chair will be used by you to make that determination. The next time I get to talk with you directly the way I'm doing right now, that'll mean we've concluded evidence. And we're giving closing arguments. At that time, both sides will get to ask you to make determinations based on what you all have heard. We're going to ask you to hold us to our burden of proof. The criminal justice system doesn't work if you don't hold us to our burden of proof. Our burden of proof is proof beyond a reasonable doubt. The things we have to prove are the elements of the crimes charged. We also have to disprove that the defendant is insane, meaning essentially we have to prove that she was sane. The evidence will do that for you. We will ask you to give justice to Gannon Stauch. We'll ask you to find this defendant guilty for what she did to him more than 3 years ago. We'll ask you to find her guilty of murder in the first degree, murder in the first degree of a child under 12 years of age, tampering with a deceased human body for taking Gannon's body from that scene and transporting it across the country, and tampering with physical evidence. We'll ask you to convict her on each and every one of those charges, and the evidence will guide you towards those convictions. On January 27, 2020, 6:55 p.m., the defendant herself called 911. She called 911 to report that Gannon was missing and not come home. Call taker you'll hear ask the defendant, who was the last person to see Gannon?
Who was the last person to see him? I guess me.
The evidence will show that she was the last person to see Gannon alive. The evidence will show that she was sane on January 27, 2020. when she ended Gannon's life.
I guess me.
I had to put that part in normal speed. Did you hear that? I guess me. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna put it back to us. And people that's popping in, hugs and kisses to you, David. Good to see you. Happy Easter at 6:03. Happy Easter to you too. This is great. I guess me. All right, I'm going back to 1.5 speed, everybody.
The evidence will show that she was the last person to see Gannon alive. The evidence will show that she was sane on January 27, 2020, when she ended Gannon's life. The evidence will show that she acted intentionally and deliberately when she took Gannon's life. And then we will ask you to convict her. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Defense? Mr. Cook?
Good afternoon, members of the jury. I talked to some of you during jury selection over the last couple of weeks. To some of you, I want to reintroduce myself. My name is Will Cook. I, along with Mr. Cellini, represent Letecia Stauch. Now, this is a very tough case. We looked at the jury questionnaires, prosecution. There was a lot of strong feelings. Questionnaires. Have you formed an opinion about Ms. Stauch? Got a lot of she's guilty. Got a few she's evil. People forming opinions about this case before they ever hear one shred of evidence. Just a defense attorney in this case is very worrisome when people have come in and they have preconceived notions of what's going on. With respect to the question on the paperwork that you got about insanity, what do you think about insanity? Is it valid? Something that's legitimate. A lot of people said insanity is just a way to get out of taking responsibility. It's an excuse. It doesn't exist. It's fake. Got a lot of that. So I, as a defense attorney, have two big problems in the case. I represent Ms. Stauch, who, according to a lot of jury questionnaires, is evil and guilty. And us raising insanity is a bunch of BS. A lot to deal with. I've been looking at this case for going on 3 years now. All the photos, I've seen all the reports Mr. Cellini has. It's a lot. What you saw on the board this afternoon, that's the PG stuff, the rated G information, photos you're going to see. For a general audience, go forward in this case, you're going to see the autopsy photos. You're going to see the photos of when Gannon was brought out of the suitcase. And they're horrible. Horrible. It was an awful, awful thing that was done to Gannon. And I see Mr. Allen get up here, and he's emotional, almost into tears, talking about it. And I get it. I get it. What happened to that little 11-year-old boy is beyond description. The facts of this case, awful. You know, it's so bad. This is a lost cause. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't quit. I can't leave this courtroom. I've got to do my job in this case. Mr. Cellini does. I can't just, after that opening statement, all the information that I've seen, the photos, the smiling picture of Gannon, hearing about him being shot and stabbed multiple times, hundreds of witnesses, and 800 pieces of evidence that are going to come in. I can't check out now and just sit down and write this out. I can't do it because it wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't be fair to the court system, the process, and it wouldn't be fair to Ms. Stauch. And I know people will say, well, who gives a shit about what's fair for Ms. Stauch? The court systems do. The law does. The Constitution, the Bill of Rights. The war fought over these things that we're dealing with today. Old school laws, the presumption of innocence, right to remain silent, stuff that comes all the way back from old Boston and Paul Revere riding through the streets on his horse going, the British are coming, the British are coming. Old stuff, and it matters. And once we decide something in the media, before you have heard one shred of evidence, prejudge this case before anything has taken place, then all of that is lost. And we are truly a country that is no longer ruled by law, but by the media. I get it. We've lost. Mr. Sweeney, we lost. Ms. Stauch, we lost. We have lost in the court of public opinion in the media. He's guilty. I get that. This is a court of law. As Judge Werner said, come through those double doors there. This is a special place. This isn't the media. This isn't Facebook. Wash all of that away. Don't try to get up and walk out of the courtroom before you start it. Do your jobs. Listen to the evidence. When the evidence is complete, go back into the jury room and weigh the evidence. All I'm asking of you, just give us a fair shake. I can see it in your eyes, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of you, as far as you're concerned, I could burn in hell for representing Ms. Stauch. A lot of you won't even make eye contact with me. I might as well just be the devil himself up here running his mouth. But I'm not. No different than those three at that table right there. Paid advocates. Werner, here in Wadir says they are paid advocates. Amy and I, we're paid advocates. They have their side of the story. And I just want to be heard. Want our side to be heard. And if at the end, guilty, but you weighed the evidence, you listened, you didn't prejudge the case, your biases, your sympathies, your prejudices that you had at the beginning of this trial, if you didn't let those come in, were fair and impartial, but it's still guilty, I'll take that. I'll take that in a case like this. A lot of evidence. Very, very difficult case. So don't quit on me. Now, Mr. Allen is right. He's a good attorney. He's well-spoken. The elected DA. This is going to come down to insanity. Lady here and was killed back in January 20. How do you figure that out? How do you look into the mind of a sick person and divine what they are thinking? Well, evidence, people's statements, observations, recorded statements, phone call, heard Ms. Stauch talking on. That's good stuff. What else can you look at? Motive? Somebody's motive. Remember that word? Up every day during jury selection for the past 2 weeks by the prosecution. Motive. You were told, and rightly so, by the prosecution that there is no requirement for the prosecution to prove motive. They're right. Does that mean that motive doesn't matter? No, it doesn't. Not mean that. Even though jury instruction talking about insanity, the prosecution just put up on the board, talked about a motive or lack of motive could be a sign that there is insanity or not insanity. And it's in the jury instruction there. So it does matter. It's not required, but it matters. And it matters because it's evidence. You don't have a motive, that goes to show a lack of evidence. Say there's a couple people involved in a shooting and a murder out in the community. Paper reports it as a random, senseless act of violence. One person shot to death. Police investigate. They have 3 people that are suspects that were there at the scene at the time of the shooting. One problem for the investigators. Don't really have any other evidence. A week later, doing some good police work, they uncovered that one of the 3 people was a drug dealer who was ripped off the week before the shooting by the dead man. A lot of money and drugs were stolen. All of a sudden, with that information, this random, senseless act of violence becomes a murder with a motive. It does matter. Maybe could you?
You need to put it up. It's not hooked up yet. You can turn off the perimeter lights if you want. I'm not getting a feed come through. You are hooked up to the defense. Still not coming through. Oh, there you go.
You enlarge that.
That's what you're looking for, right?
That's the photo. Ladies and gentlemen, if you will turn your attention to the 2 boards, screens. This fancy pointer that you were alluding to, Judge. Extendable. All right, we've got a photo here. We've got some familiar looking faces. Gannon, Letecia Stauch. Stepmom, stepson. Gannon's little sister in the back. Look at that. Looks like everybody's doing pretty good. Happy, sunny day. Maybe Miss Stauch is doing a selfie, holding the camera up, whatever. When? And a win would have this photo been taken? The day before Gannon died. The day before he was killed. It wasn't a photo of evil, anger. It's a photo of someone, by all accounts, who was a loving stepmother. Care of Gannon. Gannon's father was on a deployment. Stauch worked as a teacher herself in the Whitefield School District, an elementary school teacher. Got a person that was, living, it seemed like the American dream in a nice suburban house in Lorson Ranch, suburbs of Colorado Springs, Colorado. But behind those photos and Miles, Stauch. Oh,
Yeah, I do.
okay. Stauch was hiding. Stauch was dealing trauma and abuse that had been going on since she was a toddler. A troubled childhood. Mother wasn't really much of a mother. She had a line of stepdads or boyfriends or whatever. Her mother, from in and out, from in and out, in and out, in and out of her life. From the time she was 3 or 4 years old, Miss Stauch, until she finally moved out. And she suffered. She suffered horrifically from these stepfathers, these boyfriends of her mother. Watched her mother get beat by the boyfriends, physically abused, until eventually the physical abuse, these men reserved for her mother, eventually trained on Ms. Stauch here. Little girl. First, it was just physical beatings, whoopings, emotional abuse, verbal abuse, and then it became sexual, where she was molested regularly. 5 or 6 until she was a teenager. Constant.
See, this is what I'm talking about with these sick parents. You know, the stuff that happened to these children when they do these things to these children, these horrific things. And this is why they become adults and they turn into monsters. Like, you remember that story that I did, ladies and gentlemen, with the girl who went crazy in the courtroom and she jumped her attorney, her defense attorney, and she jumped him. And I there was this video. Oh my gosh, I forgot what guy did the video. I think it's Evil Beyond. I can't remember, but he does great videos. I could be wrong with the channel name, but he does great videos. He get in more detail. When I found out what happened to her when she was a child growing up, that's why she turned out to be Satan's daughter. You know what they doing to these children. And then when these people don't get no proper help, they don't go to therapy or nothing, and they turn around and they end up acting it out on somebody else. This, oh my gosh, this is crazy. All right, we'll get back to this one. Resume. And the people that's coming in here, feel free to engage if you like. You just want to sit here and listen. The people in the bushes, blessings to you. Happy Easter. Make sure you hit the like, and let's get back to it.
She used to have to sleep in the car out in the driveway to get away, not have to molested and sexually assaulted by these men. Sleep in the car in the driveway of her house. Because her mom wasn't around a lot. It's kind of an absentee mom. A lot of these stepfathers, if you could call them that, cared for Miss Stauch exclusively. Mom was out somewhere doing something, gone for several weeks at a time, and Miss Stauch, as a young child and a young woman and a teenager, was left in the care of these men. How do you deal with this? You're 6 or 7 years old. What do you do? Physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse. How does a kid handle that? Well, a lot of people that have had bad childhoods go on and they're fine. There's some that don't. Some is a survival mechanism. Some of these children's personalities fragment. And why do they do this? This fragmentation of the personalities when there's abuse at a young age. Because in the case of Ms. Stauch, her abuser was also the person that provided her means for survival. A 4, 5, 6-year-old kid does not go out and get a job and work and acquire their own food, pay the electric bill, pay the rent. So while they're being abused, they also, as a matter of survival, have to both hate and love, to fear and placate their abuser / caretaker. How does a person do that? Well, I think in a lot of situations, no one person can do that. That's where the fragmentation personality comes in.
Great point, Francine. Could be all a lie. We just never know. That's why I can't wait to see what the psychologists have to say. That's what I want to get into. Resume.
All the good and all the bad, all the evil and the hate can't reside in one place. And I know some of you, based on your jury questionnaires, think I'm telling some fanciful tale about this. I get it. I read the questionnaires. But as such, you have sworn an oath multiple times to follow the law and the evidence. You don't like insanity or dissociative identity disorder. That's okay. Joke or an excuse or not valid. That's okay. Okay if you think that outside those doors. In here, you got to believe it's a legitimate mental health defense, that in fact it exists and that it is scientifically backed. You're going to hear doctors, sworn experts on both sides. So yeah, it's in the DSM-4 or 5, which is a book of psychological ailments and issues psychologists and psychiatrists use to diagnose things. It's listed, accepted in the scientific community issue, a real issue, dissociative identity, called multiple personalities. Now, whether you believe or their experts believe, or our expert believes about whether it was present in this Stauch's case, different issue. But you must, to be fair, impartial, and unbiased, you must believe that it is a possible defense. It is a valid defense. It is a valid defect or disease of the mind that triggers the insanity provisions under the Colorado laws. Laws that trigger when we bring in some testimony or some evidence that there is insanity causes the rules, the laws to pivot. So that the prosecution has the burden of proving beyond a reasonable doubt. Let's say. In this case, circle back around. Why all that just matters. Going back to motive. Evidence, exhibits, photos, videos. We're going to be in here for 8 weeks. School's going to be out. Making plans for our Labor Day barbecues. Not Labor Day. Barbecues by the time we get done. But you know what you're probably not going to hear during all that time with all those exhibits, all that evidence, all those witnesses. You're not going to hear about a motive. You're not going to be given a motive about why Ms. Stauch. January 2020. Reason is there is no motive. There is no reason. Doesn't make sense. It's insane. Smiling photo. Next day, Gannon's gone. No reason for it. Prosecution may say, oh, well, makes it that more tragic that it was such a pointless death of Gannon. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on that. But there was some major psychotic crack that went on during this time. Go from teacher, loving stepmother to 2 children, loving mother to her own child, Harley, a person that Gannon's father entrusted his own 2 kids. Watched and loved and by this woman here. Being a killer of a 11-year-old boy. How do you get there? Big jump. There is no explanation for it. I don't have one. She broke on that day, ladies and gentlemen. She broke. Broke from all that was right. Made sense. Then the axe, putting Gannon's body in a suitcase and traveling 1,300 miles, whole of Florida, and throwing the suitcase, Gannon's body in it, side of an overpass. Different stories she told. She was raped by somebody. Person who raped her, kidnapped Gannon. Hear all the stories. The prosecution's going to play it for you. These are all signs and evidence of a mind, a soul that is broken, in the most fundamental and profound way. So broken, doesn't even know what it was doing. What was going through that person's head? The killer Gannon's head. Stauch's head. All the stab wounds, the shootings, the bruisings, the beatings, the burns. What was going through that person's head? I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Or the person that she was killing that day, attacking. I wasn't Gannon. I wasn't Gannon to her. Wake up that day and go, I'm going to kill her. No. She was killing the demons. Her life, from the dark depths of her childhood and her life. And here, different doctors. We have a Dr. Dorothy Lewis. She's from Yale. She's been at it a long time. An MD, got a lot of experience with this. Her legal medical opinion is that on the date of this offense, Ms. Stauch was legally insane. Now the prosecution is going to have some witnesses from our big mental hospital in Pueblo that I imagine are going to say, no, she was perfect. She knew what she was doing. It's normal behavior for a person to do that. Yeah, she had some mental issues and everything like that, but everybody does, but they don't really kill an 11-year-old boy. And that is true. A lot of people do have mental health issues. Those talked about in voir dire. People have very severe mental health issues. They don't go out and kill people. They don't go out and kill 11-year-old boys or their stepsons. They had had a nice hike just the day before, as evidenced by that photo. They don't stab the stepson dozens of times. Discharged 3 bullets with a 9mm handgun at the boy, hitting him once, killing him once. Beat him, burn him, and do all these other things you're going to hear about. Wrong, and it's horrible. She not saying. And she will be held accountable. Not guilty by reason of insanity. We'll get a jury instruction. It's about a paragraph long. It indicates in that case, and I think Judge Warner alluded to it, to one panel of potential jurists in the last couple of weeks. She's found guilty, then it's guilty. She's subject to regular sentencing by the court. But if I'm not guilty by reason of insanity, it doesn't mean she walks out here. She's committed to the state hospital, Colorado Department of Human Services, and they take over from there, state mental hospital. That's not what we're dealing with here now. So I know there's a natural urge, human urge, a real urge. You hear about that little boy with that big bright smile that you saw on the screen. Hear about what happened to him. Want to make somebody pay. Want to make somebody pay dearly. Not right. What happened to that young? Awful. But not providing doubt, constitutional protections for presumption of innocence, the right to remain silent, placing the burden of proof squarely on the shoulders of the prosecutor, letting bias or sympathy come in and cloud your judgment. Not going to bring Gannon back. Prejudging the case by what you've heard in the media. Do no good. No, we have a tragedy here. And we know it's terrible. But just listen to the evidence, as I started out with. Don't check out. It's going to be easy. Went into week 6, hearing all these witnesses and looking at evidence. You're going to want to check out. You're going to want to form your decision soon in this case. You can't do that. For the next 6 to 8 weeks while we're in this trial, you can't form an opinion. Werner was telling you that. You're in an evidence gathering phase now. You're gathering the facts. Like Judge Werner's Mr. Denver omelets. This is the ingredient gathering stage. Okay? It's in the cooking stage. When you go back to the jury room after all the evidence is in, you start putting the ingredients together. Or omelet, or just a ham and cheese omelet. Whether you've got a guilty, not guilty, or not guilty by reason of insanity based on the evidence, the ingredients. When you're in the jury room, that's when you start putting it together. Just writing down, taking notes, taking it all in. That's why the judge mentioned several times to you today, I don't want y'all talking about the case amongst yourselves. Kind of a special, hidden, quiet place, this courtroom, especially you jurors. I don't want y'all talking about the case because that leads to deliberating and judgment. It's in the judgment phase. So, thank you for your time. Thank you, everybody, for coming back. We'll be spending a lot of time together over the next couple months, so keep an open mind. Put a lot of the bad stuff out of your mind for now. What the prosecution has to say, hear what the defense has to say. At the end of this, as Mr. Allen said, when he's concluded his opening statement, he said, I'm going to come back in a couple months and ask you to find her guilty. I or Mr. Cellini in 2 months. We're going to ask you to find her not guilty by reason of insanity. Now the trial starts. Had opening statements, you've had all that now. He said, and I said, it's not evidence. Checked it up on the board and the videos and the audios that he played. That's not evidence. Remember what the judge said. If you had to deliver a verdict right now, it's not guilty. Woman right here is not guilty. He's presumed innocent. I'm not telling you to like it. I'm just telling you that's the way it is. I'm going to stop now because I'm running out of steam. But I really, really, really do appreciate your time. I know the judge, Hayes do, said earlier, you're the ones that are making the sacrifice. You're the ones that, are losing money because you're not able to go to work. That, your workspaces, your offices are idle. You're going to be here for 2 months. What we do, this is where we work, all of us, the attorneys, we pay. We're the ones that make the sacrifice in this case. And I do appreciate it. And on behalf of my attorney, Mr. Cellini, I know he appreciates it. Thank you.
Don, can you get the last perimeter light, please? I'm not sure which one it is.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you another clip. We just heard the openings of the prosecution and the defense. Now I'm going to show it. Excuse me, I'm going to show another clip. So just give me a second here. Okay, this is what you see here. This is a picture of Satan's daughter, and that's the little boy's father. His name is Al. Yes, Al. Something like that. Okay, now this clip here is insane. Okay, this clip here I'm getting ready to show you is a stepmom's murder trial. Letecia Stauch, phone call with husband about missing son. All right, we can ready to watch this one. Let's get it. The speed is on 1.5 for this. Let's return. Let's get it.
What you're hearing from the defendant. And so you said that there were different names being mentioned?
Mhm.
It's a yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember any of those names now?
Yeah, I think one of the first ones was Eduardo. Or yeah, some version of that. There was another name. I don't think it came.
Now, who you hear on the stand is her ex-husband. Well, now he's the ex-husband because he got his divorce. So that's him on the stand. They questioned him, and he was recording conversations that he had with her. So now we're getting ready to hear the recording of the tapes. Resume.
Came into play until the pretext, Quincy Brown. I
Okay.
think that's when that came into play.
So let me back up and stop you
yeah.
there. In relation to the name that you just said, Eduardo,
Mhm.
that's a yes or no?
Yes. Yeah.
What did she tell you about Eduardo?
So I'll be honest, I'm having trouble. I think all the different versions are mixing together when they happen. So I don't know. I know there was a story that the defendant told me about. There's a man in the neighborhood, a carpet guy.
Let me ask you specifically about that.
Please.
Did she give you a statement about her allowing a man from the neighborhood that was a construction worker into the house to fix the carpet?
I think the story was she gave him the code. But yeah, somehow he got in the house.
The question is, did she tell you a story with those sort of details in it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the story that she told you in relation to that?
Like I just said, I think it involved in that specific one that she gave him the code of the garage and he came in. I'm kind of at a loss on that, Mike. Mr. Allen, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Did you know anybody by that name?
Absolutely not. I don't believe.
Did she allege that that's the person that raped her in the first time that she tells the story?
Yes.
Okay.
So basically what they're getting to, just in case everybody doesn't know what's happening, this monster was lying, saying that, somebody, I guess, kidnapped her, whatever, broke into the house, attacked her, raped her, and then he took the little boy away. She just lied with different stories. She just kept changing stories, this story, that story. She's completely out of her mind. Satan's daughter. Resume.
Now I want to jump into these phone calls and we're going to have to reconnect our computer. So just a moment. That first pretext phone call, which is People's Exhibit number 35, previously admitted. Who was on that particular phone call?
It would have been myself.
No, yeah, it's not tricky.
Yeah, it's
Was you
myself
on
and the
that?
defendant. Yeah.
Okay. And then there's other people that are feeding you information to ask them.
Yes, sir.
Okay. At this point, I would ask you permission to publish People's Exhibit 35, this is that longer phone call, an hour and 57 minutes.
Okay. Because there's so many, what you'll need to do is when we stop one and begin the other, you'll just have to tell for purposes of the record what it is that you're doing.
Yeah. And what I just play it for just a second so we can hear voices, have Mr. Stauch identify who those voices are, and then just let it play from that point.
All right, that's fine.
Good. You would think after COVID, we'd be more adept at our computer skills. It's my fault.
All right. I'll have our technological issues, but it's not mine. All you have to do is plugged in the same way that you had it before.
No, we just didn't.
Hello?
Whose voice was that?
That was my voice.
Okay, go ahead.
Keisha? Hello? Hey.
Whose voice was that?
That was the defendant's voice.
So Judge, at this point, we'll just let it play.
Mr. Stauch, you can go ahead and step down.
Thank you.
Why didn't you say anything?
I did. I said hello. It's just hard because I have to get service off Wi-Fi.
So what's up?
Oh, I'm so hungry.
You still haven't eaten anything?
No,
Huh?
no.
Why not?
They don't have any money or cards. They have all that. I have all my debit cards, credit cards.
Who has all that?
They have it from my car. I don't have anything from my car.
Oh, you didn't have it with you?
I did. I had my purse with me, but they took my purse and they took my Apple Watch and all that. They took everything I had possession on.
Why did they do that?
I guess the same reason they took everything that was in my book bag and all they car. I mean, they even took the dog paperwork and my security card and my birth certificate. My passport, which is why I can't be at the airline because that's my passport.
You're not working at the school anymore? I thought you had the early college thing going on.
Right. They took my laptop. Then they took my car. So I called them and said, hey, I don't have a way to get to work right now. I'm going to work on it. I should have a car back in a day or two. So I'm still waiting, and I don't have a way to get to work. Sure as heck, I don't have a way to drive to Denver, and I don't have a passport because I have to have my passport and my crew badge to get on DIA.
So you still.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me know. Do you want me to lower the speed to 1.25 for this? Because it might be kind of hard to get what she's saying. Let me know. Somebody put in there, just let me know. Because I really want you to hear this audio. Let me know something. Well, I'm going to put on 1.25. I'm going to put this on 1.25 because I really want y'all to hear what this nutcase has to say. Okay, now the speed is on 1.25, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it.
Still,
They'll be getting me of it.
who's no one, like the police or whatever?
Like, I called the evidence department several times and just been like, can I at least get can I at least get anything that deals with my everyday life of operating, like my cards, my passport. And then the guy was like, well, why do you need your passport? I said, no, it's required by FAA to have it with you at all times, or you cannot even get to the airport, can't do anything.
Yeah, you told me that. I forgot. I'm sorry.
So I just want to get my contents like that because how am I supposed to work if I don't have any of it?
Yeah, I know.
Place on hold. Please wait for your contact to return.
Hello? Weird. Hello?
Hey,
What happened?
the Wi-Fi, I don't have a number, so the Wi-Fi just died, so I had to use this Indian dude's phone number here to call you back on because I only have Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Anyway, so like, I don't have any of that stuff. So I'm not trying to purposely not go to work, not do anything. I just need help obtaining any of it to even do anything.
Well, I'm having trouble too because
It still freaking got my truck and my, you know how I have those badges I got to get in.
Yeah.
I can't freaking get into my secure part of my job, so I can't even do what I'm supposed to be doing either. So it's freaking driving me nuts.
So like the people are fussing at Harley because she needs her high school diploma and she needs a report with her ID, social, and high school diploma. And I'm trying to explain to them what's going on.
Yeah.
Like I just can't get any help because she's supposed to be there every week on base doing stuff. She leaves in 28 days.
For basic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did anything ever happen with that job? That new MLS?
Yeah, the guy wants to talk to her about it. That's why he told her, he said to come in, but we didn't have a way, so we explained that to him. So we didn't have a way. We don't have a way to get on base because they have IDs. They have everything. It's in the book bags, everything.
Okay. What were we talking? What is C? What was that thing you said you called? I just popped in my head. CIB or something?
Yeah, you guys, I'm trying to talk to you about like help, and they're not. I'm not downing or talking about anyone, but they don't need to be the lead agency if they're not going to lead. So the Colorado Bureau of Investigations can even look at it from a different approach. So I called the Colorado Bureau of Investigations and I talked to someone and they're going to call me back.
What did you tell them?
I didn't say anything bad about anyone. I just said there's a lot of key things that they're choosing to leave out. And I said it's becoming a witch hunt after one person. I said when they're barking at the wrong tree and they're not even following what credible things that I told them. They want tips from the public, but the public was not there.
Well, what credible things have you told them? That's what in our emails I'm trying to, and I know you said you were waiting to talk to me and everything, but what is it that you've told them? Because I know we had some, uncertainty about some of the things initially, and that's fine. But like, what is it that you told them that they're not looking at? What is the? Can you walk me through it? I know I asked you for that timeline.
Hold on a second, I can't breathe even one second.
Take your time. Just try to get some deep breaths.
I'm just trying to put the window down on this stupid thing because it's hot. And like I'm having to like run into people I don't even freaking know. They could be mad killers and shit to be like, hey, can I use your phone? Hey, can I sit in your car for a minute? Hey, do you think I can drive your car to the store?
I know I'm starting to feel some heat too. Like I told you when I went to Bass Pro Shop last night, I wanted to get some clothes, but I was trying to hope to run into you on the north end, like you said you were out there, but
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I was just trying to hope to bump into you or something, but I feel like I'm having to hide now. That's why I went and got some redneck clothes, like the clothes that you don't like, because all those nice clothes I have at the house that you got me, I would just stick out like a sore thumb, and I'm just trying to hide too.
I don't know how long you got, but I just wanted to start with you for Saturday what I have.
Okay. Listen, I scooted away for lunch, so probably hour and a half, so we got plenty of time.
All right. What do you mean scooted away from lunch? You don't have a car?
Yeah, I got a rental car. Uncle Jeff helped me out with a rental car, but I just had to get away from all them people, like I've been telling you. It's just crazy. So
You stand by yourself?
Me and Uncle Jeff.
Okay, so your Uncle Jeff is there with you.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's been like me with my family members the whole time. So
how long can your Uncle Jeff stay?
I have no clue. It's people been kind of jumping in and out, but
I just didn't want you to be by yourself because I've been trying to be with you because I don't think that you should be by yourself with them because it's a bunch of vultures. That's all.
yeah, I'm not. I'm starting to slowly see that. So, but yeah, let's just timeline because I want to hear your timeline so I can try to make sense of it.
Saturday, okay. You said you wouldn't question, you would just listen.
Saturday. Hold on, Tisha. Saturday, what do you mean Saturday? Like right before me and Mama left. Saturday.
After you left.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So this is the paper I have. I had to get it notarized because that's what that guy said to do. Right after whoever found us and took Harley's car, that's where we had left from, was the attorney. But anyway. All right. So I'm going to just go through certain things. I'm not going to read it verbatim how he did it because it would be more like in law terms. But, key one, Albert is not left for Denver. We put DEN in there. Around the house, cleaned up. G helped with stuff. Helped me get stuff out of his car. Gannon's always barefooted because that was something that he asked me. Even taking the trash out, things like that. He took the trash out. He stepped on something in the garage. So my car parked. You had those boards that were underneath my car, right?
Yeah.
Was going to go help because he was saying that there was some kind of piece out there that was going to help me. You know the little zip ties that you have on things and it's hard to get off?
Yeah.
So he knew where something that to go pop those off. So he was going to go get it because I had bought them some things from the clearance store. All right, so Gannon cut his foot on those boards. We flipped the boards over because we were freaking out because I was like, oh my God, your daddy said don't get oil or anything from your car and leak on those boards. You know what boards I'm talking about?
The one, like the 2x4s that I have, like that you drive over to park in the garage or whatever. Yeah, yeah.
So I let Gannon sit down in the back of the car. You know how funny I am about my car. But also, we just bandaged it up, whatever. All we did was stick a bandage on it, whatever. And I said something to him about, Gannon, you gotta quit coming out here barefooted, which I do the same thing. I take dogs out barefooted anyway.
Yeah.
Cold weather.
Hey, let me ask you. Hold on, wait a second. I'm just thinking here, and I'm going to listen to everything. Just something that popped in my head. He always goes out the front door to do the trash. That's so weird.
But he was helping me unload. Like, I had bought them a bunch of stuff in the clearance store. If you look in the garage,
I got you. Okay, I thought you said take out the trash. I'm sorry.
let me explain this to you. There's 2 bags that was put in the garage because I had put a bunch of stuff in there. I went and bought them a bunch of crap that went on sale from the clearance store because they were changing over to like warm weather stuff. But obviously in Colorado, you can still wear the cold weather stuff. I saw Lena online wearing, so therefore I knew it was in the house. Anyway, so my point was, he was really, helping me out, whatever, just talking to me about something. Who knows what he was talking about? He tells me about video games. I listen, but I don't understand them. Anyway, so he was bleeding on his foot. And we turned the boards over because I was like, oh my God, I was going to freak out, because these are the boards. He said, don't you get oil on my car. Don't drip on my car. What? So, during this time frame, Gannon was supposed to be taking the trash out. I said, you might as well take out recycle, whatever. But Gannon kept going to the gate with nothing. And I kept saying, why are you going to the gate? She was like, I'm going to make sure the gate is locked. Well, okay, this is the first I'd known. I knew we were talking about locking the gate, but I didn't know Gannon had the key. I thought maybe you just had the key yourself, whatever. I didn't know Gannon had the key.
Babe, he didn't, babe, but hold on. The key was in our room and on top of the dresser the whole time. Remember, he kept.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention or remember.
All right.
So he kept going out there with the key and saying that he was checking to make sure the gate was locked. Okay, benefit of doubt, maybe he was, because we had talked about making sure that gate was locked, or talking to somebody. I don't know. I'm not speculating. I know I got on him about, hey, doing this.
Yeah.
So underneath there was a rug. That rug that we stepped out on, it was a rug. There was blood on it. I had walked on it, and I was like, Gannon, we probably should just throw this away and find a new rug to put out here. So
what rug are you talking about again? So the one in the garage?
Right.
Yeah.
When you step down, there was a rug. I said, we probably should just throw this away. Because we can always just get another piece or another rug, or I'll go to Dollar Tree and get a rug, whatever.
I got you.
Okay, so that was that. Okay, so then on the next section, it says, I replaced rug, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yep, bam. All right. And then it says, we came in house, and he immediately ran downstairs to the room. So then I kept going down there, because his door was locked. He said he was keeping Lena out, which, again, I didn't question, because they always get where 1 minute they want to play with each other, next minute they're like, get out. Okay. So then I sat on the sofa to put on the Peloton shoes because I was going to ride the bike again because my friends had said they were going to redo a later time that we could do the bike. Gannon kept coming in there saying, are you going to stay here? Are you going to stay down here? Are you going to stay down here? So I took it as if he was like excited I was going to stay down there and, just be able to run around and do whatever. But then I had to go upstairs and help Lena, yada, yada, yada. So I got on my statement. So I was back and forth. I came back when I heard a loud noise. So there was a loud noise that happened downstairs. So, of course, I run back downstairs and realized, or so I thought, was a box or something fell over in the storage room. Sounded like something was really loud in the storage room, but I assumed that it was a box. Gannon had his door locked, so I knocked on the door. Of course, I'm like, hello, because I hear a lot of noise. And so he opened and said I couldn't come in. And I was laughing. I'm like, why? And he told me he was doing something. I don't remember what he told me he was building. I'm sure it was something about the Toy-Cons or Joy-Cons or whatever. I didn't think anything of it. Just, okay, he's building something, whatever. But there was a loud noise, and he was in his room. So then, he said his stomach started hurting a little bit or whatever, so I told him to come upstairs. I had some special ice cream. I had his Pedialyte pops. I had already went and bought them because I thought, this time of year, this is when I got the cold last year, I'll take them. So I let him take the Pedia pops or whatever, and he took some Relax. So that was a normal day for Saturday. Like, you were already, going on. You probably already got the plane. We all laid down, yada, 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 right?
Right.
We're about Saturday.
Yeah. Christopher.
Sunday, all right? Sunday, we talked to you in the morning. Remember I told you, I sent you a few messages, and I was like, hey, we might go on a hike, whatever. Everyone's going to get dressed, And then suddenly we saw the news about Kobe Bryant. So then, of course, that delayed it because I'm sitting on the sofa crying, trying to figure out, like, oh my gosh, Kobe died is this true. Remember I messaged you. We talked back and forth about it, whatever.
Yeah, I had just gotten to the airport at Lawton when you told me that.
Right. So Gannon hadn't talked at all. I mean, Gannon didn't know who Kobe was, or maybe he knew from like hearing it, but didn't really.
Jumpstart dinner with Home Chef's microwavable meals.
He just noticed that I was sitting there like crying, like, oh my God, you know, like upset. And we were sitting there talking about it. So I was telling him that, hey, you know, Kobe has a lot of daughters. He only has sisters. You know, Gannon went over the whole like, I don't want you to think any of this is irrelevant because I want you to think of anything that I say that might have triggered something.
Yeah, right. I'm listening very closely.
So then we were talking about the daughters, and I was like, yeah, he always wanted a boy, but he never could have a boy. He had daughters, blah, blah. So then I let him in on a little secret, which I already told you over email what it was. Okay, I don't need to say it again. You already know. So me and him were talking about that. He was kind of like, really? And I told him, I said, yeah, you know, like I lost a lot of babies. I said, it was kind of hard. I said, you want one thing and it don't ever happen. You know, I felt like I was in a situation to talk again about this because you're over here upset crying about Kobe. And so I was like, I'm telling you because I know that you'll be able to pray and keep a secret. And we were like, you know, kind of being silly about, oh, this is a secret we have between each other. We'll tell daddy, you know, yada, yada, yada. So we sat there and talked about that for a little bit. So then Holly got called into work. So I was like, crap, we had everything packed, ready to go on a hike, had the Getty, had everything. We were going to plan on staying for a while and then go get dinner. Well, she got called on a hike. So we decided to take 2 hikes. So this is where all this confusion comes with hike, Carly went, hike, Carly not went. So we took the dogs on a hike through the trails in Lorson Ranch. So if you leave out of our neighborhood, go out to the side, go up to the little whatever, you could take the dogs on a trail, come back, yada, yada. So that's what we did first. Came back. Gannon had his water pack. I'm sure you saw the pictures online from Garner God that some other creeper people took. He had his water pack on his back or whatever, so we got ready for round 2. So hike 2 was Garden of the Gods. So then it says, Garden of the Gods was our hike 2. So we went about 2 miles in, lots of talking about things. G asked me, did I know any of his mommy's friends from Coastal? It was a random thought process. So I just figured he was trying to be curious about it. I said, and did I remember Brian? And we laughed about some new friend named Mike too. So we were just having this conversation about whoever these people were. I was like, I don't know anybody named Brian, and I don't know anybody named Mike too. I guess a new Mike or whatever. All right, so Gannon's stomach hurt, and he was, Gannon's stomach hurt. And most of the night he had a stomachache and he tried to lay down and poop and stuff like that. So during this time, I'm messaging you, which you're probably tired, jet lag, whatever.
I have to pause for this. Nell, Gigi, you are so right. Liars always give more than enough information. You are so correct about that. Let's get back to it.
Like, hey, Gannon's stomach's hurting, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
If it happened regularly, you know he would get, you know, whatever. That's when he asked me about the bath salts. Still, hadn't talked to you about it yet, didn't know whatever. He took a bath, and then I gave him a bath salt, because I thought, maybe this ought to be clean. You know, whatever. Bath salt. I didn't know any of that stuff. So then, next section. Alright, so then the next section was, I don't remember exactly who took the bath first, but everybody had their baths. Everybody was doing their own thing. Gannon was like going back in his room. I said, okay. So then here's my next note. All right, Albert had grounded Gannon from the switch. I understand that he said he was still grounded, but he could get off, you know, the next day. He'd been in his room most of the night. I knocked on the door. He said he was playing with Grayson. I ain't never heard of fucking Grayson before in my life. So again.
Grayson? He said Grayson?
He said Grayson.
Okay.
So in my mind, I thought, who the hell's Grayson? But I didn't see anybody in the room. Obviously, I weren't like looking under beds or anything like that. Honestly, I thought, does kids at 11 still have imaginary friends? Or are they talking? Is he talking to somebody online because he's not supposed to have, you know, like technology?
Yeah, right. I said right, yeah.
Even the benefit of the doubt, I didn't say anything else. I just said, oh yeah, okay, cool. So Grayson and I said hi. I laughed it off, went off about business, didn't see anything. So later on, I don't know the exact approximate time, but I saw he was on the sofa. And I was like talking to him. I was like, oh, you want to sleep out here tonight? Or
Oh, what, downstairs sofa?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
I'm like talking to him about tonight, whatever. He told me his Uncle Matt was going to visit. Okay, so I don't know who the hell Uncle Matt is. So I was just sitting there like, okay, that's when it dawned into me that he had to be talking to someone on something because Grayson, I have no clue who he is. Matt, I have no clue who he is. Then I was like, this can't be characters in some game because it didn't sound like some game characters. I don't know Uncle Matt and I don't know Grayson. So he was talking about his Uncle Matt was going to visit. And I thought, okay. You know, again, trying to be sensitive to the fact that I know that he probably has friends, family on the other part of the country that maybe he was missing or whatever. So again, I was like, boy, yeah, so again, that's my statement. So again, I was like, boy, you need to stay off that TikTok. You're being silly. Because I already told him he needs to stay off the TikTok. He was being silly. All right, so I went upstairs. He was on the sofa to watch TV. I told him I'd come back later with him because he wanted to watch something on the show, but I had to get Lena ready.
Yes, Melanie said something. If you're around the keyboard, if you're there, if you could tell me, Melanie, what was the reason again? But yeah, Nell Gigi, she has headphones in there, and it's like they blocking her from hearing everything. Trying to figure out the reason why. And I wish she was listening. I wish I could go to her, snatch those damn headphones off of her, pull her hair back in a ponytail and tell her to sit up straight and listen and face the facts that you killed this little boy, monster. Yeah, that's her. If anybody knows, that's her right there in the background hiding. If you can see, right there. There she go. Over there hiding. Monster. Resume. And people who's coming in, make sure you hit the like. And let me just read the poll real quick. What is the poll here? All right, the poll is, I have 21 votes, and I asked, do you feel that she should go to a mental facility or prison? 0% said mental facility, 76% says prison, and 24% said too early in the trial to say. Okay. Let's get back to it. Wait a minute, did Melly put something? All right, Nail Gigi says something. I remember seeing her putting something in her ear, but I thought it was her finger. And Melly said, met y'all there, Donna, let's do it. Met y'all there, Donna, let's do it. I don't understand that one. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Mess up. Donna. The judge allowed it so she would behave. She loses them towards the end of the week. Okay. So she would behave, but at the end of the week, wait a minute. So you're saying is they're gonna get rid of those headphones from her later on? Something like that? Is that what you're saying? I'm sorry, Melanie, if I'm not understanding you. I think I got you. So she would behave. You gotta be. That's what I'm saying. What is this? What is this? Every state is different. Well, put her hair back and take her earbuds. Yeah, that's what I wanted to understand what you said before. That's exactly what I would do. I want to sit up straight, face what you did, put your hair back in a ponytail, and take away those earplugs and listen and accept what you did. Okay, what you said? She stopped using them. Oh, so, all right. Last question. So the judge gave permission for her to keep the headphones on, earbuds or whatever, all the time. But she decided to take them off herself, or did the judge make her take it off? Yeah, exactly. Make her listen. All right, let's get back to it.
Ready, and I promised him I would let him stay up 30 minutes later. I said, I was upstairs, getting Lena ready for bed, yada, yada, yada. Well, then, out of nowhere, the alarm is going off. It didn't start with anything other than the alarm. Lena had laid down. I had went in the room. I was sitting there with the dogs. I don't remember exactly what I was doing, but I was doing something on Roku. I hear the alarm go off. So I walked in the living room, hit the alarm code in, and I'm just like, alarm code, and it stopped. So I thought, who in the world, was on the alarm code? Then it beeped again. It kept going, and then it started fire. It was yelling loud, fire, 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 fire. And I'm just like, fire? And I look around, don't see any flipping fire anywhere. So as this goes on, I'm like, okay, put the code in again, it stops. So I'm like, okay, I might get on the phone with ADT because something's wrong with this thing. Remember when we were out of town, the neighbor said she smelled gas and her thing was going off, but then they didn't find anything?
Yeah, right.
So I was thinking maybe it's something to do with this. So that was how my whole process was. So then at that point, I was like, the carbon monoxide thing started beeping. And I ran in there when Lena was at, and I said, Lena, are you asleep? Because I knew, unless I was under some adrenaline rush, and this is not being mean, I would just pick Lena up and yank her out of bed. But luckily, she hadn't fell asleep all the way. I said, Lena, because I thought I was being crazy. I said, you hear that? It said fire, right? She's like, yes. And so I grabbed Lena, run her outside, run her with the dogs, give her the keys to the truck, throw them in the truck, and I run back inside. run back inside, still don't know anything, and then remember, oh my God, Gannon. Sorry that for a second I hadn't remembered that because I was trying to still figure out where the heck I was at. So I run back downstairs and realized that there's smoke downstairs. I was coughing and choking and couldn't like get through the smoke part. Run back to the garage. You had these little mouthpieces that you could put over your mouth.
Yeah, dust protectors, whatever.
So I grabbed one of those, ran back downstairs, and when I ran back downstairs, Gannon was still asleep, not knowing this was going on, and I took the cover. There was a whole bunch of tons of cover that was inside that little tan thing, and Gannon had on or whatever, and I just jumped on him. I don't know if that was the right thing to do. If it was the wrong thing to do, I'm sorry. But I just jumped on it and kept jumping on it, and like Gannon was right in one of the covers, so Gannon did burn his arms. It wasn't bad. It was like it's like, you know how you get a little bit of oil on it and it's just like underneath the skin, but as long as y'all peel it, it's fine.
Yeah, but hey, Tisha, which arm was it? Both arms or like this inside? I mean, but like, how was it? So, because I remember we talked about that before a little bit, but we never got it.
I feel like it was across the arms. Like I feel like it was, and I told the investigators this. I said, and I don't want to skip to this part, miss this part. So remind me that. Say this later. I told the investigators later that I said I probably should have looked a little more in depth at his arm.
What if he's hurt? Yeah.
Because it could have been, you know, like.
I know we on like a faster speed, but you can literally tell that she sounds like she's off her rocker. He didn't notice this in dating? You didn't pick up on that there was something wrong with her? You didn't pick this up? Or you just got caught up in the lust? I don't know. I don't mean to be judging, but you know, I don't know the whole story, but it just doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. I'm just saying, you know, people have to make some better choices in dating. You know, really do. You know, men get caught up in the big butt and the smile, you know, and you don't realize. Remember, the devil comes in pretty packages. I'm just saying. Resume. I really want to know more about their relationship. Really do. Resume. Like I said, my channel is about, you know, dating, love relationships, and toxic relationship. And we need to watch these things to see the red flags so we can prevent ourselves from doing them. Or, you know, if you have children, teach your children, nieces and nephews, or if you're a mentor, you need to just really look at it. You know, go a little bit more deeper into the situation. Resume.
Like, he wasn't complaining like, oh, it's hurting. He wasn't saying anything along those lines, but I should have looked a little bit more depth. Honestly, we ran. So we ran out. I'm sure they got the footage of us. Me running out first because Gannon was grabbing his cover, running out behind them because he was calling.
Hey, what time was this? So I can maybe tell somebody to look at the footage.
Well, I mean, I told them originally, I don't have access to the ADT now, but
Yeah.
Because ADT said it had an alert for fire. So I would imagine whenever that alert went off from ADT, it would have been within that few minutes.
Yeah,
like,
fine. I got you.
15 minutes.
Well said, reigning woman. See, that's the problem with some of these men. I'm not saying all, so you know, whoever's watching replay, don't come and attacking me. You know, but they just get so caught up in the lust, the body, and everything. You know, these women doing all these tricks and cartwheels in the bedroom, and they just get crazy. They're like, oh my gosh. And then realize you're laying down with Satan's daughter, and this is what they do. Saying no, you know, a lot of weakness for men, not saying all, so don't be coming to me, you know, I mean, in the comment section. But a lot of weakness for men is sex. That's what it's all about, sex. If you have a great body, you look good, and you know how to put on a man, you can have a man do anything you want. Women don't realize the power that you have in the bedroom. And these men be falling for it so quick. Resume.
Hey, tell me about it. So I'm really concerned about these burns because, you know, he's freaking hurt. Like what were they big? Were they small? Like what was it? Was it from the candle wax or what?
Let me get to that part. It's not going to worry you in a minute when I get to that part.
Okay, because I'm freaking out right now because
I'm getting a little angry now. Okay, Nail Gigi says something. He cheated on his ex-wife with her. I'm sure he reasoned with the red flags. Because of the newness of the relationship. That's nothing weakness with men. Is new cookies. Yep. All right, what Melanie says here. She said the reigning woman, LOL, pretty much. I think he might be easily lured so that... Melanie popping up here. Okay. Hey, girl.
Hey there.
What you got to say?
Okay, I'm just gonna get you guys caught up to date.
All right, everybody listen. Let's focus on this one because this is good. All right, go ahead. What's
Okay,
going on?
so when he was married to Landon, his first wife, he played softball with Letecia. They were all on the same baseball team. And he started having an affair with Satan woman. Okay. So he divorced his first wife, married Letecia within 5 months. They've been married 5 years when she kills his son.
Oh, okay. All right. So they was
He,
all on
but,
go on. Okay.
he was having an affair with another woman.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Oh, so he's a slime ball. Sleazeball. No, he's a sleazeball.
I'm gonna, because his son is dead and he didn't deserve that, I'm gonna reserve judgment, but he seems to move quickly. So the day that Letecia landed back in Colorado at the jail, he served her with divorce papers. It took 1 year for him to divorce her. So that was 2 years ago. He's remarried now with another new child.
Oh my gosh. He's just one of those type of guys that just has to stay married and just getting married. And, women do that too. Every guy they date, they propose, they get married to, Oh, all right. So what you're saying is they was all on the softball team. He started messing around with Satan's daughter, blah, blah, blah. Then he left the current wife, to be with Satan's daughter. And then 5 months later, after dating, then he got married to her.
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
But he moved out of his wife's house and into a house with Letecia.
Oh my God. So now with the child, who had custody? Did he have full custody of the child?
No, they had 50-50 custody, but in the last 2 years, the mother got very sick. She had a third pregnancy, high risk, in the hospital.
Okay.
And she signed the kids over to their dad, and then he wouldn't give them back.
Because I was trying to understand, because if he was away, why was the son, with her?
Yeah, he's not Army. He's National Guard. When he deploys, it's to a different state for a week.
Okay, yeah, I think they do, 1 week a year and every 1 week in a month or something like that?
Well, he's full-time National Guard and an officer. So...
Oh, okay.
Okay, so also the money is with him, and the National Guard provides his legal defense in his divorces. So it makes it very hard for the bio mom to fight. So he still has the daughter.
So with the first wife, they had 2 kids together?
Mm-hmm. Yes, both of them premature, both of them high-risk pregnancies.
Okay, so the 2 kids was living in a house with this monster here.
Yes.
Now, when all this killing, when he killed, where was the other daughter? Where was the other daughter at the time?
She was there.
That's what it
so
was.
we haven't gotten that far yet, but in these phone calls, she's going to start talking about being raped. And then her story's going to go to, the guy was in either the storeroom or Gannon's bedroom, and he let her go upstairs to tell the daughter to go play. And then she goes back downstairs for more of whatever that guy was supposedly handing out.
Oh my, this is all over the place.
It's crazy.
This is crazy.
She makes up story after story after story after story. But I don't think she's insane.
Okay. Okay. Oh wow. Oh wow. So this man just jumping around. So he has a new wife and he got kid too already. Yeah, that was mighty fast. And the first wife, she let him have custody for a while, and I guess she wanted to get a kid back, but he was like, he's keeping. Wow.
Yeah.
And then look what happened. So, but she has an older daughter, correct? She has.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I know that was gonna be. Oh, this is everybody. Let you know who's in here. This is the only first week of trial. This is gonna get ugly. I know more stuff's gonna come out.
Here's what I would suggest.
Okay.
Pay attention to when she talks about Eduardo. Kind of take note of that. It's going to come up later in the trial, but I don't know when.
Eduardo. Okay. But she does have an older daughter that was living in the house with them, correct?
Correct. She was 17, and she's testifying against her mom.
Oh, she haven't hit the stand yet. No, right?
Pardon?
She didn't hit the stand yet, right?
She hasn't taken the stand yet.
Okay, because I know I didn't catch
But
that.
I mean, she's in a bad spot because she helped her mom move that little boy from Colorado to Florida and throw him over the bridge.
Wait a minute, that's right, because they said that she was in the car driving, but I didn't know. She literally, helped her. She was just in the car, didn't know what was happening.
It was an open box van. But something to remember is he was 5 days in the Palmer Creek area of Colorado in well below freezing weather. So that stopped decom.
Oh. Okay, Nell G. Thank you. Nell G,
All right.
so we have to be careful that the
I'm gonna dive out of here and let you resume.
Oh, wow. Thank you, girl. I love when she comes up here because she gets a scoop. Thank you, because I'm like all over the place. But like I say, everybody, this is the first week, so we see the rest. If you like, you can just stay up here and just, hang here and listen if you have to throw in something or whatever. If you like, it's your choice. But thank you.
I'm gonna dive out and watch in the background.
All right, gotcha. All right, let's get back to it. Thank you again, Melanie. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Understand? So when he runs to the car, he runs in because I'm running. He's running behind me. I jump in your truck. All he's jumping in your truck because the keys were laying there.
Okay.
I jump in your truck. He jumps in on the driver's side. He's screaming, crying, whatever. Elena's in the back seat with the two dogs. We crank your car, we turn your truck on, and we drive the hell off. Don't ask me why we drove off. I was freaked out because I was like, oh my God. Like, it was the smoke was more scary and terrifying than actually the fire. So
Okay.
what we did was we drove around the block, and I kind of had to be like, okay, what do I do? A, do I need to call the police department? B, does anybody need medical attention? So then we go back in the house. Lena's freaked out. I put Lena in our bed. I said, Lena.
So you drove around for how long and then came back?
No, I drove around the block.
I didn't hear that. Yeah, I didn't hear that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I drove around like the block, like Wando, that area.
Yeah, I know.
Pull back up in the drive. You didn't have much gas because I hadn't put gas in your car yet. You didn't have much gas.
Right.
My process of driving was thinking, oh my God.
Recordings just got better.
I was in shock. So I pulled back in the driveway and parked. We all get back out, go inside. Lena's freaking out, crying. Lena and I are standing there looking at Gannon. At that point in time, I didn't see anything on his hands, arms, or anything other than take your hand where you're holding your phone and look on the insides where the edges are. That part right there had little bubbly spots. Okay? So they had bubbly spots on both sides of his arm. And I think that was from when he grabbed the cover and I was trying to grab him up. And he came down with me with the cover because he was like latched onto the cover.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was trying to grab the whole cover to put out the fire. So from the inner parts of his arm had these little bubble spots.
So you said both sides, or is it just the inner parts? I'm just trying to, because this might be key information.
Like both sides, left arm, right arm.
I got you. Okay, so both sides of both arms.
From what I remember, both sides
Yeah.
of both arms, because he had when Gannon was laying down, I grabbed him to get him up. Okay, because I remember it was that
Oh god.
it's one of the covers. I grabbed him to get him up, whatever. He gets in the car, whatever, we're talking. He's explaining to me that he thought I was coming and he was grounded from the switch. So he thought I was coming, and when he thought I was coming, he knocked over the candle.
Okay.
Because apparently he was playing the switch when he shouldn't have been playing it, which is fine.
What is it?
Yeah.
But he had the candle on the couch, I guess, right?
No, he had sitting on some kind of little, that little white thing that was sitting next to the couch.
Okay. Oh, I got you.
I don't know if the candle fell over. I don't know. I know that when I got there was a fire and it was on his cover. So I was trying to rip the cover out of his hands to get him up and like jump on the fire. They have pictures of where there's burn marks on my elbow where I jumped on the fire. So we get in the car and he's crying and screaming and telling me he's sorry and he don't want to get in trouble because of the switch. He was on the switch and he shouldn't have been on the switch. And so we drive around the block and I'm like, it's okay, we'll figure it out. Honestly, I flipping lost my mind because I thought in my mind, like, had I not gotten downstairs when I did, had I not heard it or the alarm system or covering outside or whatever, if I would have hit that couch, I don't know that I could have gotten again. And that was my biggest thing that my brain was sitting there like freaked out on. Come back inside. Lena's terrified. I said, Lena, go lay in the bed. She's laying in the bedroom. Ken was like, he doesn't want to go back to his room. I said, okay, will you lay in Lena's bed? He said yes. He started to say he was cold and had a little bit of shivers. And so I was like, Gannon, I took him and put more clothes on top of him now. Blame it on me, whatever. I didn't take his clothes off to go through anything, but I asked him, was he hurting? And was anything else, whatever. He told me it was just his arms. So I didn't see anything that would have thrown a flag that I had to be like, oh my God, emergency or anything like that. I didn't see anything like that.
But if his arms was bubbling, that's not an emergency?
Well, it hadn't broke skin. Like, it was just like underneath. It hadn't broke skin or whatever.
Okay. All right.
In my mind, I'm like, okay, let's evaluate the situation, tomorrow and see or whatever. It wasn't burn marks like carpet burn or like, anything like that. It was bubbly. And I told them from that, I said, I honestly probably could have, got him in the car and said, hey, can you just check this out to make sure? Because in my mind, in his arms, I didn't see it as a bad thing. I just knew he was like, it's not hurting. We put aloe on it, and I assumed, okay. So then we put on the long sleeve shirt on him because he said he was kind of cold or whatever it was. He lays down in Lena's bed. Lena sleeps in my bed, our bed. Charlie comes home. I go in, and I'm telling, like, I had already prepped Charlie for what was going on. I was like, hey, don't panic when you get here. I was like, there's smoke, house is smoky, Gannon, this happened, yada, 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 yada. Lena was scared to go to sleep, so we both went in there and checked on Gannon. We went in there, we gave him water in Lena's bed. We gave him water, we set him up, we were like, are you okay? He was more scared of anything. And so I can, of course, I was like, what, someone said something because I said sell the couch. I wasn't talking about sell the couch to fix the daggone carpet. I was talking about, like, I would get rid of that couch and get a new couch. Don't panic. Like, my point was, honestly, I wasn't even going to tell you because I was like, Gannon was scared of being grounded a year. And I was like, I'll buy a new couch. We'll fix the couch. We'll replace everything in here. Don't worry about it. And that was my whole point. As long as you promise me you didn't do it on purpose, you didn't purposely do this to hurt yourself or hurt somebody, we will fix it. And that's how we ended on Sunday. So Gannon was still like, upset. He was not only emotional about the situation, his foot was hurting. So that's where we were at with Sunday.
Okay.
You give me 1 second to pee.
Yeah.
Listen, there's a good chance somebody.
Okay, I'm back.
Right.
All right, so later on in the night, Gannon woke me up a few times. He said his stomach was getting worse. So I hadn't pooped yet. I messaged you You were already asleep. And I was like, hey, Gannon wants to know if he can stay out of school tomorrow. He's scared of pooping in his pants. I think you probably were still asleep. You might didn't get it until the next day, which is not your fault, my fault. It was time zone and tiredness and whatever.
Yeah.
I stayed up with him a few times in the bathroom. Finally, I was like, okay, I wrote you back. I said, I'm just going to make the decision that Gannon can stay at home tomorrow because he is so terrified about pooping in his pants. So the next morning, I called the nurse's line and I asked the nurse's line about his stomach and giving him Miralax and yada, yada, yada.
You talking about the TRICARE nurses line?
No, the urgent care nurse's line right in front of Fountain and whatever that road is.
I got you.
So I called them and I said, hey, I know typically people are constipated, you give him Miralax, yada, yada, yada. He hasn't really went to the bathroom, he has blood coming out his butt. And so they just basically explained to do the best she could to get him to pass, and if not, then we needed to call our care provider, whatever. People started beating me up over that, saying you didn't need to have a referral to do this. That wasn't what I was trying to say. I was trying to make the point of, does the boy need to have, anything done, or can I just give him, an enema or something like that? Because I already talked to him about that. So if this don't work, you want me to give him, an enema or something, because it was a big old turd he was trying to get out.
Yeah.
So then, that morning, we were like, I said, Gannon, I'm going to stay at home with you today because I don't want you to stay by yourself. Now remember, we've let Gannon stay by himself. He's been responsible, whatever. But in this state, as in his state that he was in, not feeling well, stomach hurting, bubbling a little bit here and there, and being embarrassed, I made a decision that it was not okay for him to stay there by himself if he was sick. If he's on normal terms, taking care of his sister, playing his Switch, doing his thing, then that's fine. But I said, Gannon, you're going to need to go with me. I said, there's a few things I need to handle today. He asked me what, and I was going to look at a bike for you. This guy that was on Craigslist because he had this bike, like a touring bike, and I said,
Yeah.
"Go to look at."
Hold up, Melanie. This is getting even more crazier. Are you saying don't think it will be part of the trial, but this devil woman had life insurance on his kids and tried to claim the benefits of Gannon's death from jail?
This is mad greasy.
Do you hear that? Let me change this thing. This is. Wait a minute. Let me get this. Fix this audio so you won't be. Do you hear this, Jack? Do you hear this?
It's mad greasy.
This is insane. This is getting more and more crazier. This man, he ain't shit. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I know he lost his son.
He ain't baloney.
Yeah, I shouldn't be cursing. He's not baloney. He's baloney. But he's not. He's no good.
It's a cooked bologna sandwich.
Exactly. Not saying what happened to this child's right because he knows wrong and everything. But what I'm just saying is, this man
cooked bologna sandwich with government cheese on top of it.
Exactly. He left his wife with 2 kids to mess with this piece of crap right here to get with her, right? And dump his whole family to be with her. Now his child is gone, and he was even messing with another woman. This is insane. This is insane. You see, this is what I be talking about in my channel, and I be stressing all the time. As adults, the decisions that you make, these people that you date and you bring into your home, you end up the kids is the one who suffer for your actions. With him running around here cheating, being around here with these different women, dumping up a whole family, now his child had to pay for it. Now his child's not here. It's clear as day as we listen here. All right, more is going to come out. It's only week 1. More is going to come out. It's clear as day. You didn't pick up the signs there was something wrong with this girl? She's clearly crazy. She's one of those crazy people they don't even hide it. I mean, don't get me wrong.
She's purely surely on Sudafed and meth and fentanyl all rolled into one.
Oh my gosh. I mean, you have to see the signs. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some people out here that's really crazy, and they will hide it from you. Could be dating Joe for like a whole year, and you won't even know. And finally, his mask will start cracking. But somebody like her, I believe her mask cracked on the first date. You can just tell the way she laughs. Her eyes. And he left his whole family for this crap?
Her eyes is black.
Look at her. This is insane. What it says here? The USAA policy, they have filed a suit in El Paso against her. And she was trying to get some money too. Oh, put her in prison. Oh, this is crazy. Now we see why the trial is so long. Yeah, there's so much unpacked. 25,000. What she said? 25,000. You was trying to get paid. Wow. Why did you bring
For
this?
25,000.
It ain't a lot.
I could see for 25 million.
Mm-hmm. And you know that's how some people are. They'll kill you for $10, $20. Mm-hmm. We don't know if that was the reason why, but yeah, it had to be something. I know she was trying to get that money. Left your family at a softball looking at this girl here giggling with you, flirting with her. It's number 7 of the commandments. Thou shalt not commit adultery. You're going to hell. But who ended up suffering? Your son. Oh boy, I'm sorry. I have to call these things out on my channel. We have to look at the other stuff, okay? I can't do the poor dad thing. Now, after I'm hearing all of this, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I can't. His actions. Should have kept his woodpecker in one woman instead of going out here pecking all these women. All right, let's get back to it.
It was quarterback or whatever.
And that was Monday?
Yes.
Hey, so did you give him Max or the enema or anything like that? What else did you give him?
I have in this notes what day I gave him Miralax.
All right.
Trying to poop and regularly took, that was the bath salts day, like to Saturday. You had Miralax on Saturday. Yeah, here it is. I gave him ice cream and said it had special stuff. Because I was telling him it was really those like Pedialyte ice cream.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And took Miralax. That was on Saturday.
So hold on, I'm trying to just because obviously I'm worried to death about his little arms. Did you rub any cream on it or give him anything for the pain or did he pain medicine or anything like that to help him?
Pain medicine because I didn't have any pain medicine to give. What I gave him was the aloe that was in our bathroom, that green aloe. We even made like a little silly joke about it because he wasn't hurting. Remember how I was wrapping Sadie up with the little thing?
Yeah.
I wrapped it around his arms too.
Oh yeah, the little bandages or whatever.
So I put the green aloe on it, and I said, "You can't. Or do you like Sadie?" And we laughed about it.
Yeah.
Laughing about it, being silly. Yes, it hurt a little bit, but being silly about it on his arms.
It is now 5 days since the Labour MP, John Stonehouse.
So you didn't give him any children's Tylenol or anything?
I didn't give him any kind of, he wasn't saying that he was hurting in any kind of pain to give him any kind of Tylenol, to give him anything at all. And if you feel like that would have been a lapse in judgment on my part, then I'm sorry.
No, I'm just trying to sort through it. I know how both of them are about, every time they scrape their finger or something, they want a Band-Aid. So I would have just assumed that if his arm was all bubbled up, did his arm stay bubbled up until the next day, or did that go down that night, or how that's worrying me too.
Okay, so to get to the next part, Gannon started to kill it.
Wait, when? When did he start to kill it?
Gannon started to kill it because I guess he was either asleep, I don't know, anxious, I don't know. Monday, he started to kill it.
Okay.
Kill his kid.
Yeah, Monday morning or whatever.
Again, I swear to Jesus told detectives this. I said he started to peel it. When he started to peel it, it had I don't want to say not gooey stuff or whatever, but it's almost like it was popping it type thing. And I said,
oh yeah, like a blister or something. Yeah.
I said, listen, if it gets worse, we're gonna drive straight. And that was already the plan. That's why I didn't go to school. I said, if it gets worse, after I put all that stuff on there, whatever. I'm not that type of person where something happens immediately, run to the hospital. You and I've had that conversation before where you would say every little thing later, ran to the hospital. I was trying to evaluate it to see. As long as he was talking fine, normal, acting normal, I didn't see at that point in time that he was under any kind of pain.
I got you.
Say that to me.
Okay, all right.
That was a lapse in judgment on my part. I apologize. But he started to peel it because, obviously he starts to peel things. So along with peeling that, he started peeling his fingernails. So, and I'm that morning, I sent you a picture of Gannon laying in bed on Monday morning. To your phone.
Yeah, right.
Gannon was laying in the bed, whatever. I went went back in there, checked on him, gave him some more water, made him drink some more Pedialyte because he wasn't eating because he was so upset. And that's when I noticed he started peeling things like on his arm. And I said, and at that point in time, which I told you, like I told them, Gannon had blood that was on his arm and on the side of his wall. I guess from sleeping through the night, whatever it was, peeling it. We toted him back down to his room after Lena decided to go back to bed.
On the side, you said on the side of his wall? You never told me that.
No, I told detectives this.
Oh.
You never talked to me about this.
Okay, fair, fine. I'm just, this is new. I've never heard that before, so now I'm even more worried about him.
So they should have told you this. So then I went in there that morning, sent you a picture. I said, Gannon, why do you have blood on your wall? I was like, it wasn't a lot. Don't panic. It wasn't like.
Oh, so it wasn't like a lot, like all over the place? It was just like little streaks or something? Oh.
I said, Gannon, says, did you peel those things? Yes, he did. I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to re-bandage your arm. I says, and if you're feeling bad or it starts bleeding, you get a fever, anything like that. I says, as soon as because I was going to go talk to the man about the bike.
Right.
He said, you have to go there first. You want to go to the hospital now. Of course, maybe I shouldn't have asked the kid that, but based on my judgment and what I was seeing with him, I didn't think that he needed to go right away. We went on about our business. And I said, if you start to feel any pain or hurt or whatever like that, we'll just drive to the base. We'll explain to them what happened with the fire. We monitored it through the night, so on and so on. That was our intent. That was the plan the whole time. Everything. Nothing wavered from doing that at all. Gannon asked me questions. He was just like, why does this happen to me? Why do I always get hurt? Because, he had hurt his foot on the boards outside. I said, Gannon, we're going to figure all of it out. Don't worry about it. We will replace it. Okay? So Monday morning, after all this, I was like, Gannon, we're going to go find, which I probably shouldn't have said to him that he would have known that it was on him. But I said, we're going to go find someone to replace the carpet. He says, and then we'll get it fixed. We won't worry about it. We'll monitor your arm through the day. Yada, yada.
She just lying and storyteller liar. Oh, somebody need to pull this woman up, make her sit up, take those plugs out of her ear, push her hair back. Ooh. Resume.
Yada. So we're gonna go get coffee, just hang out. And I said there were some things I need to get for the pet store, and we need to go meet the guy about the bike. And that's the reason we drove the truck, because if I ended up blocking the bike, I was going to put the bike on the back of the truck.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And also knows that when we left, we took my softball bag, Charlie's softball bag with that, stuff like that in it, helmet, because I was asking him, did he want to stop by to look at those hockey skates? So we took any of that old equipment that I had, and we loaded it in the back of the truck, which was the long Easton bag I have.
Yeah. So you took Harley bag?
Harley's bag, because she don't use that bag.
The little book bag, the softball bag is like a book bag.
Right.
Oh.
So we were going to take it to the sports place and see if they did like trades, whatever.
Yeah.
We were going to surprise Lena when she got home if I could got him 2 new things of skates or hockey skates or whatever. Cause
You talking about Play Against Sports over there that we went to?
That's why we were so far across town.
Oh, gotcha.
All right, so that was our plan for Monday. Go to Play Against Sports, get some coffee, we need to get gas, and we were going to monitor his arm along the way, go check on the thing about the bike.
Right.
So we go to, drive around. I think we went to Dunkin' Donuts first, and then the gas store, or it might have been by first.
Like over by our house, Dunkin' Donuts?
Went to Dunkin' Donuts by our house. Dunkin' Donuts Sharon lady already released the video of us going there. You can see my arm reach out the window. I can grab, sorry, I didn't mean to say this, and I'm just over all this. Grab the coffee out the car. Then I turned around because I was about to get Gannon a Frappuccino, but he said he didn't want it. So then we drive off from the Dunkin' Donuts. So then we drive from the Dunkin' Donuts, and we go up. I turned 87 somehow, but meant to turn on 25. Needless to say, I went up the bar.
You mean 85?
Yeah, 85, 87. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
I went up towards Nevada, which is where, like, Holly gets her eyelashes done, that type of area.
What, like wait, you talking about past Walmart and all that? Like not towards Fountain, the other way, right?
Okay. The roads, okay, remember when we went to the recycle at before and the road split?
Yeah, way down there close to, okay. All right, but that's towards Walmart turn. Yeah, okay, I got you.
Okay, so that's the route that I take, which I'm sure they have because I'm not hiding anything from or the GPS that I took. So I went that way first, and I realized I was like, oh crap. I was like, I probably should have got on the other exit because I really didn't know. Lately, I've been trying to find my way around, like what exits to get off of, things like that. So I get off, and realized like, oh, this is the way to where we went to the recycle thing at. So I just kept driving and ended up making the curve and turning you back to 25, Nevada, and all that. And I was like, oh, there's the Petco. I was gonna go to PetSmart, but we ended up Petco, so whatever, same thing.
Petco, you went to Petco like way over there?
That's the only Petco there is.
I don't know. The only one I know is the one we went to by Target that one day.
You might know Harley's work.
Yeah, that's PetSmart though, isn't it?
Right, that's what I was saying.
I got you.
I was going to go to PetSmart, but I went to Petco.
I got you.
So I go to Petco and walk inside. Gannon wanted to stay in the car playing the Switch. He was like, you want to stay in the car playing the Switch? Again, Colorado law is he can stay in the car at 11 years old.
Oh, so he took a Switch with him.
Right.
Oh.
Okay, guys. Everyone in position.
Yes. He had his Switch, playing his Switch in the back of the car.
You're talking about a truck, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, in the back of the truck.
Okay.
So he was playing his Switch in the back of the truck. Well, I went in the first time and yada, yada, yada. I was going in because Sadie has been having like I don't even know what it is. She needs to get her vet paperwork so I can get her checked. I didn't know girl dogs had like periods or like stuff come out. I didn't know this. So I walked in and found these little pads that they had. And I'm like looking at them, whatever. And I set the phone down because I'm like, and my mind is so blown that dogs have this. So I'm like looking at it, freaking out, thinking, okay, should I get these? Or should I just call the pet, the vet? Maybe it's just something weird coming out of her body parts or something like that. Whatever it may be. So then, go back up to the front, look around. I look out the door several times. And these people I know have said, she was suspicious looking out the door. I was looking out the front door just to make sure nobody was at the truck because Gannon was in it. That's all. It was just, he was in the truck. And what if he needed to get out pee or, whatever. That was the only reason I kept walking back to the freaking front door just to make sure he was fine. He was in the truck. So then I get 3 outfits. God forbid I got 3 outfits and only had 2 dogs. Because, of course, this is what these people talked about. I got 3 outfits, checked out, walked out, got in the car. From there, we were going to go to the play again tour.
But wait a minute. Why were you so... I'm kind of confused because, like, you said you were worried about him getting out, but, like, we've gone to the gas station and, like, he's never tried to get out of the car. So what was... I don't know. Maybe that's nothing, but what made you freak out that day?
Parked on the front row. I was parked a little bit off. So, like, if he needed to get out and use the bathroom or he was looking for me or whatever.
Okay, yeah. That kind of was weird because, like, he's usually, he does what we tell him, stays in the car. But anyways, go ahead.
Right. But not Albert. Exactly, he does. Just like I told you, he could have stayed at home on a normal basis. But he wasn't feeling well.
Yeah,
so I was
fine. I got you.
What if you had to poo? Whatever.
Yeah.
I was just trying to be a good parent. That's it. It wasn't no...
I know.
Looking in the car.
I got you. It just was weird that you said that, but it's okay. I'll just go ahead.
So I went on, got the thing, checked out, left. I don't remember if we were stopped at another store in between there or what. We were headed to go to the Planet Again Sports, and we were headed to go talk to the dude about the bike. Well, they had my phone, so they can see that the guy right back about the bike with the pictures, and I was asking about prices and yada, 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 yada. And I was like, I didn't want to go to the man's house with the bike, without I wanted it to be legit, I got me in the car, and not only had me in the car, I got Gannon in the car. So I thought, I need to, what I'm saying? Like, I need to make sure this is legit. So I'm like, send me a picture of the bike. Can you call? Can you whatever? And like, he wasn't acting like he was wanting to like give me information that he could meet me at a safe spot to go look at the bike.
So you weren't going to go to his house or something? He was just going to meet you in general?
I told him messages that I didn't want to just go to some random person's house. And that's probably why they're looking at this whole Douglas County thing, because he lived almost at Douglas County.
Okay, yeah, that does sound sketchy. That was probably a good decision, so.
Yeah, so again, in an open book with them. They took my GPS and everything. We got to Douglas County, and me and Donna was talking about it, and he was like, "Do you know this guy?" And I was like,
"Well, wait, I missed the part. You said so you went to Petco, but you said you were going to play it again. Did you never go to play it again? I forgot."
So we didn't never make it to play it again. That was on our agenda, but we were trying to go for the bike first.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I got confused. I'm sorry.
Okay, it was a priority first. Okay, so I was gonna go out to meet the guy with the bike, and somehow they have my email. They subpoenaed all that. They can see.
Okay, ladies, I'm going to play another clip of her phone call. I'm not going to drag this one. I'm going to play the other clip because I wanted y'all to hear this one too. Dang, this woman is just full of lies. Oh my gosh. All right, just give me a second. I'm going to play this one here. And in this clip, it says, hold a second. Okay. All right, this clip here said, "Did you kill Gannon?" The ex-husband called out Letecia Stauch for allegedly killing the son. All right, let's listen to this one. This one here is a little bit short. It's about like 6 minutes. All right, let's get it.
I don't want my family.
All right, Tisha, listen, like I said the whole time, I'm just trying to help you and trying to keep you and Harley safe from all. I mean, these people are after me now. I don't know who the hell it is, but like I said, I had to go get my clothes changed and everything just so I can blend in better. And I want you to know that no matter what, we can work through this together, and I can help you, okay? But you just got to let me help you. But you told me to be straight up. I got a very straight up question, okay? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Did you kill Gannon? I need to know. I need you to answer me yes or no right now.
I killed Gannon. The answer is no. I can't believe you asked me this.
I just got to know. You told me to be straight up. I got to know what's happening to my son.
Tell me why you would think I killed Gannon.
There's a lot of unknowns. I mean, being straight up again, you changed your story again to me for the 4th time.
No, I changed my story.
You did. This is the 4th version of the same story, okay?
Wow.
Like half of what you told me today, with the cut foot, and now he's got burned arms and picking it, and his butt's bleeding. All this stuff is new to what you told me the other day. And the other day you told me you cleaned up the area where you got raped so nobody would see it. But now you told me you just changed clothes. I just don't know what the hell's going on.
I didn't tell you. First off, you never even listened to me about anything that went on.
I did. No, you stopped because I listened to you. I listened to you, and then I went and got the guns and put them in the truck, and then I came back and listened. Me and Landon listened to you. Then I stopped and picked your story apart. So get it straight, Tisha. I listened to you, and I said, if I'm wrong about the rape, I will get on my knees and beg you for forgiveness. Did I not say that?
Yeah, but you haven't.
Exactly, because I haven't been proven wrong yet. I want the truth. If I'm wrong, if the police, no matter what they're doing, the FBI, the CBI, the CBS, whoever, okay, if they tell me I'm wrong, I will publicly, in front of the world, get on a camera and tell you I'm sorry. But until that happens, we're going to find the truth.
How can you tell me that someone didn't? I don't understand. How can you tell me that someone didn't do something to hurt me and take Gannon?
I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you it hasn't been proven one way or the other. You said you banged your head on the freaking table. Now I got to tell them to go check out the table and see if there's any blood or any of your.
You knew that. They had already asked that.
Okay, but that's the first I heard of it. You see what I'm saying?
You never would talk to me. You literally just sat here in a conversation and asked me, did I kill our child?
Yes, I did because if you say no, then I can't. I'll stop thinking that you did it. Okay.
That's horrible.
I don't know what to think. My son's blood. You're telling me his blood's all over the walls, and now you're telling me the Mexican guy that had the gun to your head or whatever took him away, and he knows him, and he could be anywhere.
Gun? So where did you get that piece from?
That was so now you got me twisting all your stories up because that was from the first time you told me the rape story. He had a gun to your head. You told me it was your gun. You told me, but you told me it was your gun. So that's fine. I'm not debating the points here.
I said the black one.
Okay, fine. But I mean,
you know in your heart I would never hurt Gannon.
Yes, I absolutely believe that. But I'm doing everything I can to help you right now. But Tisha, listen. The thing is, if you don't, but it's not just. I asked you if you killed him. You said no, and I'm sorry. That was a hard question. But if you know anything, or you did anything, or just upset about it, we can work together, and I can help you. But I can't help you if you don't tell me anything. It's just there's so many unknowns, Tisha.
Oh my God.
I mean, did anything happen that was an accident that you're scared about?
Really?
I'm just trying to, Tisha, you know, with my Army training, I'm trained to ask all these questions to get us in a safe place, right? And that's why I took the guns out from the get-go. That's just my training kicking in.
Oh my God, I really thought, I thought out of this conversation, I really thought you were going to be supportive of me. I thought you were going to bring your family back together. And I thought that we were going to talk about everything every single day of nothing but Gannon.
That's what I'm trying to do.
For a second, you would ask me, did I kill Gannon? I can't believe that.
Well, I'm glad you said no. That gives me a lot of hope and peace.
I told him about maybe, just maybe, you might have a brother. Maybe. We talked me we did a lot together.
What?
Whatever, Kevin.
Okay.
Job.
Okay, Tisha, let me ask it this way then. I don't believe you killed him. But did something bad happen to him and he maybe he is dead or not with us anymore and you just panicked and didn't know what to do? I mean, is there anything like that? Just any information is what I need. We can help you. I can help you get through this. But but we got to know the information about Bubba. I mean, just think of,
Really, Gail?
yes, I'm just trying to figure out what happened to him. He's gone and nobody knows anything, but you were the last one to hear him speak. Okay, which was Monday when you were driving around and he left the house. The last time we heard him speak, I don't know. I don't know when that was. Before I left, probably. When I left and he went downstairs to watch Pokemon. That's the last memory I have of him.
Albert, let me tell you something. People don't have.
Jackie popped in, and happy Easter to you, girl, and blessings. Happy Easter. Christ has risen. All right. Let's get back. Jackie, this whole thing is insane. This woman is completely out of her mind. And you're going to tell me he didn't pick up on this in dating? You had to pick up on there's something wrong with this woman. There's something wrong with her. All right, let's get back to it.
The life that I have. People don't just be a normal person. Just doing their thing. Finally had what they want to do and be in the sky working. Oh, they don't do that. People premeditate things in life. There's no sign or indications of anything that I would have ever heard as children. I fought for you. I fought for them.
Yes, you did. You fought for all of us. You're right. I'm not questioning any of that, Tisha. I just did an accident happen? I mean, other than the candle burn? I don't know. I'm just trying to ask all the questions.
I've worked with children long enough, Albert. If an accident happened, I'm smart enough. I know what to do. I've had plenty of friends who've been in situations where they've been in the classroom. They accidentally dropped the kid. The kid might have broke their leg. You go to the people, you tell them it's an accident, and you work through it.
Okay, so all right, you also said something that was calmed my heart, tremendously about Bubba. That basically you didn't premeditate anything. So whatever happened to him had to be an accident, just like the candle. And obviously you wouldn't plan on something like that because you're a teacher and you do all those babysitting events. I know you wouldn't hurt kids intentionally, but whatever happened was an accident, and I know you didn't plan it.
I didn't have anything to do with it.
And she's a teacher. Wow. She's a teacher too. Get back to it.
Why are you saying this to me?
So he would have had to have died naturally then.
He's dead.
I don't know, Tisha.
I can't even believe you are saying that. Gannon isn't alive. What's wrong with you?
Blues, pinks, greens.
Because it's just none of this makes any sense. I mean, he would have been found by now. Okay, he didn't. All the cameras, all that footage shows him not leaving the house other than in the truck. And I like I said, I'm just trying to help you get through this.
Help me?
Yes, help you because
help me get through this.
Because I am trying to help you. I want to know what happened to Gannon and try to help you and keep Harley safe and everything that I've said the whole time because that's who I am and you know that.
See what y'all think. This is what y'all think. Y'all think somebody's gonna come in here and say something just to appease everyone. Well, a true person who is completely innocent, you can keep beating me down in the ground all you want to because I didn't do it.
I'm not beating you down.
You think you don't want me anymore? Fine. You don't want our family anymore? Fine. You took my car. You took everything.
I didn't take anything. They got all my shit too, Tisha. I got 2 cars now because Harley's not going to pay for it. I got 2 cars I got to pay for. That I can't even see or touch.
I'm begging you.
No, she hasn't. That I know. So
every day, Albert, why are you not with your wife? If you want to be so honest and ask questions, why are you not with your wife and daughter?
Because okay, I'm gonna tell you the truth right now. because of this conversation, Tisha. I don't know. And I've told you that the whole time. I'm confused. I'm all over the place. I can't get the truth from you or the police or nobody. And now, it's just even worse now because I got another story I've got to try to make a theory from.
Another story? You have never talked to me.
But you told me a few minutes ago we went over it. You told me the first story. No, first you told me he ran away. Then it was the rape story. Then it was the second rape story. Now it's the third rape story.
I can't believe you just said the rape story.
I'm just. What do you want me to call it? The story of Gannon disappearing. Okay, you told me the first version of that, the second version, and now the third version.
You a second or third version?
Yes.
You sit down and talk to me.
No, that day that I got home. No, the day I got home, that next morning after my mom and sister and Landon and everybody was at the house, you told me you were texting Bethel and you told her the story. I don't know what you told her, and I kind of don't.
Yes, you do.
I don't even care. No.
I don't care.
I swear.
My God, I can't believe you're lying to me right now.
About what? I'm not lying to you about anything, Tisha.
They had y'all at the police department when I was there.
Oh, you mean when Landon showed up and then they brought, I was already there or whatever? Is that what you're talking about? Because that's the only time I know. I don't even know when you're there. I just assumed you had finally come in that night. Or was it the next day you came in? I don't even know, Tisha.
You were there because she was talking to you there.
Who was?
Bethel.
She was talking to me at the police station?
Yes.
Honestly, most of my talking was with Mark, the other guy that was at Starbucks. So I don't know what you mean she was talking to me. I think I talked to her for like 10 or 15 minutes. Did not tell you anything different. This is how my day went. I was going to lay down. Hey, Tisha, I believe you. Okay. What I want you to answer for me is those simple questions. Did Gannon die and you just freaked out, or was there an accident involved? Did you kill him? Answer all those questions. Those are the ones that I want to know. Okay, I don't care about who talked to who, when we went where. Honestly, at this point, none of that freaking matters. What matters is that little 11-year-old boy is either out there or he's not, and I got to know that. And you're the only one that has any information regarding that.
I gave you that information, and you're not going to look for it.
No, but you ignored my question. I mean, answer those questions for me.
That's the first question.
All right. Did you kill Gannon?
No.
Okay. Did Gannon die on your watch, whether it was an accident or naturally from some injury?
No.
Okay. Did Gannon have an accident of a serious nature and you freak out and cover it up?
No.
So the answer is to no to all of that.
Correct.
Okay. Now this is going to be very uncomfortable for you, even more uncomfortable than what I just asked you. Did Harley kill Gannon?
God, no.
Okay. Did she, any of the same questions, did she have anything to do with an accident, cover up? Was she involved in this at all with you?
No. I haven't been involved either.
So so there's a blank somewhere that you have not filled the blank. So.
How did I not fill the blank?
So
you don't think for a second that someone came in the house to Gannon? You don't think that?
I don't doubt that. I don't know what to believe, but I'm not doubting you. I'm just having to ask all these questions. So,
I begged you. I said, hey, let us all be together. Look at me in my eyes and ask me that question. Feel it in your heart and then ask me that question.
You ever have that moment in the mirror where you're
But you gotta look at it from my perspective. Okay, first of all, and I got a couple things to say, so let me get through it. These stories, just like I've said the whole time, they don't sound legit to me. They just don't add up. They're not true. Something is off from every story because there's different versions. So that's number one.
Melanie, I agree. That was a nice little twist right there. Ooh, that's my cutie pie right there. Ooh, great, awesome, phenomenal actor. All right, let's get back. Thank you for that. That was a nice little commercial.
Number two.
I've only talked to you once.
Okay. All right, fair enough. But you got to put yourself in my shoes. Okay. What the hell would you do if this was Harley? Okay. And you didn't have all the information. How would you put all these pieces together? So, I mean, you got, from my glasses, how am I supposed to put all these pieces together when I don't even have a third of the pieces? I'm just trying to find the pieces and get them together.
You want me to answer that question?
Which one? The one about what if it was Harley?
Yeah.
Yeah, answer that question.
Okay. So as soon as you tell me this, when I got off this phone, I would have my husband and my children together in a home, and our houses would be praying, and we would be on the phone with the detectives, and we would be saying, "Listen, I support my husband, and we need to find someone over here." Somebody had to see something. Ask them again. Do something. We will be putting a fucking alert out everywhere. We will be putting a description out everywhere. We will close the fucking borders from Colorado to all of them, up and down 95, because it leads to fucking Mexico.
95? What?
That shit.
Why would
I'm
you?
sorry, 85, whatever.
85?
What's the road called? 25. It's
Oh.
it leads to Mexico.
Well, you please be careful when you say those things, because then they're going to start looking up and down 95 on the East Coast. Okay?
Sorry.
And that's not going to help us. Since you know he's not over there, that's not going to help us if they get sent over there. Okay. But you didn't answer my question. How am I supposed to put all these pieces together? You're telling me let's go home and pray. And
Now, Gigi said, look how she just told on herself. See, this is why, if you have the patience, because it's really hard, because this with the gaslighting and the manipulation, they'll drive you completely insane. But if you really sit down and listen to these narcissists and sociopaths, psychopaths, histrionics, she's definitely a histrionic, these personality disorders, they will sell their own self out. They'll throw their own self under the bus. You just have to, if you have the patience and really listen to them, you can tell that they lying, and they're going to basically throw their own self under the bus. It is what it is. They're going to crack when they get under pressure. And this is what's happening. All right, resume.
been praying I've been praying nonstop. Okay. But we got to have action too. So here, listen, I got to go, because now I'm freaking, everybody's going to start questioning me at the house. Where have you been? What are you doing? Are you involved? I'm going to get all those questions now. So
Who are you staying with?
Uncle Jeff, and then freaking Veronica and all them that are all over the place. Okay, so
why would you have to be anywhere near them?
I don't have to be, but you saw we had to do. Listen,
and your daughter.
Tisha, listen, I had to do these statements and interviews and all this shit. It's just nonstop. Every day is something else. Okay, so if you think all this information is what they need, apparently the El Paso people haven't done their job, and they haven't forwarded it to the FBI. So I don't know. There's some Amber lady called me from the FBI, and I'm going to just email you her number and her name. And if you want to pass this information to her, that's much higher than the freaking CBS or whatever you call it.
Yeah, because they called everyone I know.
Okay, well then that's what.
You can tell them too.
Okay, but I don't have the document you have. So anyways, I'm just going to send you the contact, and if you want it, you take it. If not, I can't make you do anything. But I got to go. Okay.
Yeah, but that's not how you would say trying to find your son. You would not say, if you don't want to do anything, then blah blah blah.
No, that's not true, because I can't. I wanted you with me the whole time, and you left. So I'm going to give you the information you need to pass your stuff along, and then you can do that. Okay.
Listen to me. We don't have anywhere to stay. I'm asking you to stay with your wife and daughter, and let's do this together. Now you tell me no if you think that you don't give a shit about us and you don't want that. You tell me no right now.
Tell you no.
You tell me yes. If you want your family together because you believe
I
me.
wanted my family together. Listen to me. I wanted my family together the whole time. And listen, you're not letting me help you. So I recommend that you get in contact with this Amber lady, because she offered me help and safety, because I told her what I was going through. And I'm sure they'll do the same thing for you, especially all that you've been through with you're telling me about the social media stuff and people chasing you around. You said in the email. So I'm going to send you her contact information. Okay. And then you decide whether or not to contact her to find protection for yourself and get them this information. Okay. But I got to go. Okay. I gotta go, Tisha. I gotta go.
Question.
What question? I said I wanted you to be together, but I gotta go. Okay, I gotta go. Bye. Bye.
Mr. Allen? Just getting Mr. Stauch back up. Okay, Mr. Stauch, if you would resume your seat on the witness stand, I remind you, sir, that you're still under oath.
Thank you, Judge. At the time of this call, Mr. Stauch, did you know the defendant's location?
I did not know, sir.
You can move that microphone closer to you if you want to, so you don't have to lean over.
Right.
Yeah, the chair doesn't move. Everybody makes that mistake, but the microphone does.
Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have another clip, and people who's coming in. Happy Easter, who's coming in. Make sure you vote. Okay, I have another clip here. Okay, this one here is just completely insane. Well, they all insane. All right, just give me a second here so I can share it. Okay, this clip here. Alleged stepson killer Letecia Stauch begged for immunity as ex-husband grills her. All right, now listen to this, how she's going to stop going crazy. Truly histrionic. Let's get it.
House and you thought Gannon was hiding. So the guy the guy was in the house and you thought Gannon was hiding. So he hadn't taken Gannon yet at that point?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, that's huge. That's huge because now we can look at different camera time frames and all that, and we can look at different angles. Okay, that's huge that he was still in the house, and so that would have been police got there at what, like? I'm not. No, I know. I'm trying to sort through this again. I'm trying to get you to this point to where
Because they'll try to incriminate me for this. I need immunity.
I think they give it to you because this is big that he was there and they missed it. Because then they're gonna want to cover their shit for not finding him. I can't hear you. What? You did what? You did what? Oh, you said what? What did you do?
I tried to point to the cops and hey, check this area. Hey, check this area. I was even trying to show them any other extra areas that I saw. I said I didn't know if Gannon was with him or I didn't know if Gannon was still fighting. I didn't know at that point.
Okay, but then you figured out. How'd you figure out he wasn't by himself?
I'm not telling anything else before I get immunity.
Well, I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to put all this together. You said you pointed them in the direction, but where in the storage room were you?
Directions. I said I was just giving all the big areas of the house.
I want you to tell me why you panicked. Why did you panic when the accident happened? When Gannon did whatever he did, I mean, he made a mistake. Whatever happened, why did you panic? After Gannon was hurt, after he hurt himself, after he had an accident, after he banged his head or something, why did you panic? So, wait, well, you know what? So back to this Palmer, I'm all over the place here.
Yeah, because you're trying to make it out to be me and it's not me.
No, I'm trying to make it out to be, where's my son, okay? If you were in Palmer Lake and then Douglas County and whatever, you did all these turns and turned around and this guy was out there laying in the road, he got in a truck, why do they have your GPS in your car? You were in my truck.
My phone.
No, but I thought you told me yesterday you left your phone at Petco because you had to go back to get it.
No, that was Gannon's phone. Gannon's phone was left at Petco.
You told me, yes, Tisha, I'm not stupid now. Okay, listen, you know I'm better than that. You told me yesterday, you said it almost verbatim, almost quoting you now. You said, I set my phone on the counter, okay, because I had these 2 or 3 doggy sweaters or whatever, okay, and then... No, you told me yesterday it was your phone, and then you said it and you forgot it because you kept going and looking at him to make sure he wasn't getting out the truck. Now it's you. Tisha, but how is it all true when you've told me 7 different versions of the same thing? It can't all be true. He can't be a Mexican named Uncle Matt, lived it, but he wasn't there until he got in the truck.
See how you keep doing?
No, what I keep doing is not being stupid and letting you get me with bullshit, okay? I need the truth.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Really?
Really. How do you know where he's at if you don't know Quincy Brown? If you're not involved, if you don't know what's going on.
Not involved.
You just fucking told on yourself. You just told on yourself. You know where Gannon's at and you're fucking lying.
I don't know where Gannon's at.
You just said he's in Colorado Springs.
I said Quincy Brown lives in Colorado Springs, apparently.
Now you're fucking twisted the words again, Tisha. Okay, where's Gannon?
I don't have Gannon. You can curse me out, call me whatever you want, fuck all the bitches you want, do whatever you want, because I don't care about you.
Good. I don't want you to. You got my son, and you know where he's at, and I need to find my son. You obviously don't care about my son if you're going to do all the things you did in that fucking candle video. That was bullshit. That's the same shit you tried to do to me, and you did it to my son. That was horrible. You should go to jail just for that shit, Tisha.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fucking abuse, and you know it. Had that little boy. No, you had him crying when all he thought he had made was an accident, and you had him thinking he was going to have to sell his Switch and his toys on the fucking video you put out there. I didn't see that. You put it out there. That's your fucking abuse.
You think he was going to sell his Switch?
Yeah, that's
crazy.
or what? Well, that was where it was going. The couch, or we're going to sell this or that. I heard your words, and I heard you make him cry too. Where's my son?
Crying.
Where's my son? Where is he, Tisha? Why are you pausing?
You don't care where he's at. So it don't matter.
I do care. I told you where I think he's at. You told me he wasn't there. You said they're barking up the wrong tree, and then you said he is in Colorado Springs. You said that. Not me. Not the police. Not nobody else. You said it. That's why you said they're barking up the wrong tree, because you know where he's at. And you need to tell me.
I wish I did.
You're a fucking liar. Tell me where he's at.
I wish I did, so that I bring him to you and say to you how you really were a supportive husband.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. I mean, there's other clips, but I'm not gonna hold y'all here much longer. Unless there's a short clip. Hold, let me see if there's a short clip to show. I just showed that one. I didn't show. I thought I. Hold a second. I thought I had showed that clip. Did I do something wrong here? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Just give me a second here. I wanted to show the clip. I thought I. Excuse me, all computer freezing up here. Where is it? I wanted to show the one when she was. They didn't say it on here. All right, I'm gonna show this one because I didn't see this one's about 8 minutes long, and it's gonna be less than that because I'm gonna put on faster speed. Let's watch this one here. I was trying to get the one that
today there's millions of families.
Immunity. They didn't say it on that one. All right, this one here is 8 minutes long. This will be the last one I'm gonna show, but I'm gonna put on faster speed. This is going to be on 1.5, ladies and gentlemen. So whoever's watching replay, if you need to slow it down, you can slow it down on your end. All right, this one here is on 1.5 speed. Now, this one here is Letecia Stauch's trial witness details finding suitcase with Gannon Stauch's body inside. All right, let's watch this one. So sad. This woman is pure evil. Why he left his whole... All right, let's get to it.
The suitcase was right next to the edge of a vent where we were taking the measurement. Had it been in the middle of a vent or in the middle of a span, we may have not even noticed it. But because of its location, it was right next to where we dropped our profile tape, is what we call it, to take the measurement. We immediately saw it as soon as we dropped it down.
And so I'm not a Navy guy. When you say deck, are you talking about the road area of the bridge where the vehicles go?
Yes, sir. That's what we call the deck. We take our measurements at the top of the barrier wall. Anybody that's driven over a bridge, the concrete walls on the outside is where we take our measurements from.
And so are you and Mr. Goins looking over the edge of the bridge and you see a suitcase directly down below?
Yes, sir.
What side of the bridge are you on, the eastbound lanes or the westbound lanes?
We're on the eastbound lane and we were on the east or the right side of the structure.
And so you note that there's a suitcase there, but then you go on with the inspection?
Yes, sir.
And tell us about that. Do you go all the way across the bridge and then work your way back, or how does that work?
Well, generally when we're taking a profile, it's we'll start at what we call the near end, which for our reference is we work from west to east or south to north. In this case, we were working west to east. We started on the right side of the bridge heading east. When we finish that profile, then yes, we do turn back around and we work from east to west back to where we started. And that's when we get into the truck and start our under bridge inspection.
And when you start your under bridge inspection, is that when you get back to the area where the suitcase is?
It wasn't for, no, sir. It wasn't for probably roughly an hour and a half later, maybe a little bit longer, because when we started the under inspection, we start back at the beginning of the bridge. Okay. And where we found the suitcase was almost at the very end of the bridge.
And this bridge goes east and west, is that right?
Yes, sir.
So you're starting the undercarriage portion on the east side, working your way west, is that right?
No, sir. We're starting on the, the west end, working towards the east.
Okay. And so what happens when you get back to that area where the suitcase is?
Because of the profile and the as the bridge, there's the hump in the bridge. When we got towards the end of the structure, the bridge starts to become lower, closer to the ground. And at that point, we didn't need the truck anymore. So we were able to lower the basket down to the ground line and get out and was going to finish our inspection from there. And that's when we lowered down to the ground, we remembered that we had seen the suitcase. We finished up our inspection and then went back to the suitcase.
And why did you go back to the suitcase?
Pure curiosity.
Okay. And again, is Mr. Goins with you at this point in time as well?
Yes, sir.
So what happens when you get back to the suitcase?
We got back to the suitcase, and where it was lying kind of an odd angle, but the handle was towards the underside of the bridge. So I reached out for the handle and immediately noticed it was very, very heavy. And I looked back and remember telling Matt, I said, I don't know what's in this. I said, but it's heavy. I said, and where it was at had the possibility of being waterlogged. We didn't know if there was clothing or something in it. We just noticed that whatever it was probably waterlogged and saturated, just due to how heavy it was.
And I imagine you get a lot of rain in Florida?
Yes, sir.
Do you get a lot of rain in the months of February and March?
We can. March normally is fairly rainy season, but again, where the suitcase was really right at the edge of the marsh, and depending on tide, you don't necessarily have to have a lot of rain for that area to get be influenced by tide.
Okay. So you, Mr. Goins, get up to the suitcase. You said it appeared to be heavy. What happened after that?
Because of where it was at, it was very, very marshy and muddy. We of course didn't know what was in it, but underneath the bridge where it was at was very flat and sandy. And we kind of like made a decision, let's pull it out of the mud and pull it underneath the bridge where it was flat and sandy, and whatever it was in it, we'll just open it there rather than in the muddy marsh, sticks and a lot of sticks and stuff there. So we pulled it underneath the bridge.
And what, did you open it?
Yes, sir.
Tell us about that.
I was the first one to unzip it. And before we opened it, as soon as we unzipped it, we immediately noticed the smell. That's what hit us first. I remember looking up at Matt, who's quite a bit taller than me. And I said, Matt, I think there's something dead in here. And unfortunately, we do come across, sometimes somebody will throw out a litter of puppies or something in a bag, and that's not uncommon. And it smelled, but it was so strong. It was different that day. So I didn't initially open it, and we kind of thought about what we were going to do first. When we finally went ahead and unzipped the rest of it, the smell was so overpowering. We kind of took a step back, and the first thing I remember seeing was just 2 little feet, and that had little football socks on them. The best I remember, I remember there being little socks on them. And before anything else happened, we couldn't really make out what it was. Matt dumped the suitcase over, and of course we initially immediately knew it was a body. But after looking at it, it was we couldn't tell male or female, boy or girl. We didn't know. A lot of black hair. And then I turned away.
What was the size of the suitcase? Do you remember?
Roughly the size of a checked bag. It would have been it's too big to be a carry-on, but roughly the size of an older checked bag suitcase.
And was there anything else in the suitcase besides the body?
Lots of blankets. There may have been a pillow or something. I just remember a lot of bedding in there and blankets. It was the body was in a fetal position and partially wrapped up. So we couldn't tell a whole lot until we dumped it out. And again, I turned my head,
What did you do after that?
walked away. I immediately said, we went ahead and called the inspection right there. I didn't have my cell phone with me. Matt did at the time. He's a volunteer firefighter, and he's dealt with some of this stuff. And I was very thankful to have him there. We immediately dialed 911 and got them on their way. And then I walked up back to the top of the bridge and talked to our truck operator and told him kind of what was going on, that, they were shutting it down. And then just waited for authorities to get there.
Okay. And did members of the Santa Rosa Sheriff's Office eventually show up?
Yes, sir.
And did they interview you and Mr. Goins and process that scene as it was theirs?
Yes, sir.
After we talked on the phone a few weeks ago, did you get an email from me of a Google Earth image of this bridge we've been talking about?
Yes, sir.
And did you yourself mark a red arrow on that Google image as to
Okay, that's the end of the clips. I'm not going to show any more clips. This one, this basically I was just showing the clips for the week, and some of the clips here. Oh, what Francine said, I need a mega pint of my top. Ooh, that sounds delicious. Aloha, and Donna, happy Easter, and you too, happy Easter. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out and engaging. To everybody that's here, had yourselves a great evening, day, Easter, and everything. Christ has risen. Hallelujah. And I'll probably do like another recap. Be like next Sunday, I'll do like I did today, recap of the week. But maybe Tuesday, if I'm working from home Tuesday, I'll probably be streaming it live when it's in court on Tuesday, if they have court too. So I'll stream it live in the daytime. Possibility, go from there. Or maybe, and then also, but like I said, so I'll probably do it like next Sunday to see what happens for the week, and then we can discuss it and show clips. And shout out to Melanie for filling us in, because those little gaps there, timelines. I just don't get it. You just left your whole family. You left your family for a woman at the softball to be with this monster, Satan's daughter. And now this angel is not here anymore. Yep, us parents, we have to do better. We have to make better decisions on who we bring into our lives, and especially around our children. Especially. This is so sad. And this child just went in such a horrific way. Horrific. Can't even believe it. All right, everybody, that's it. Enough talking. Thank you for being here. Thank you for engaging. If you like, you can leave some feedback at the end of this live stream, something in the comment section. And again, thank you, everybody, for coming. And happy Easter. All right, and everybody remember, date smart, not thirsty. Ladies, stay away from the dusty men. And men, stay away from the dustettes. Bye.